how you doing? This is Eric from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and Amp Live, the American Mentee Program. Coming on here as promised. Basic. Oh. All right, got a couple of things going on here with the screen share, a little Zoom action, live, the event, all that good stuff. The main thing is just to come on here and share. If you see it, awesome. If not, you'll see it in social media or in the Amp Live group somewhere. But it's for content and to do our part to share, right? To put that stuff out there so it'll help you. Because I know there's people out there that are struggling, having a hard time with business, and there's others that are rocking and rolling. There's others that need a little bit of education or a little bit of help. Grab a golden nugget from here and there, because that's what I did when I got started back in 2003. Figuring out if I wanted to do this business or not. Is it even freaking real? Okay. So I'm going to get into it a little bit. It's always live and uncut, right? So there's nothing scripted, not going off a bunch of notes and things of that nature, right? It's coming from the heart, coming from the soul, coming from the spirit, coming out from me to you, and it's here to help you. Now, what we're obviously, it says Americans Helping Americans. That's what we're all about. You know, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. We're doing our part, get America back on track. We know there's some crazy stuff going on. And if we can empower and help just one fellow American to help another one and another one, that's where the strength lies, right? It's all about united we stand, because, you know, divided we fall. And that's what, you know, hey, it is what it is. And that's what people want. Not people, but the elites and all that good stuff. I'm not going to get too much into that, but it's the freaking truth. You either figure it out, or you understand the language I'm speaking at the end of the day, because everybody listens and hears what they want to hear, right? Perception is reality at the end of the day. And obviously governments and, you know, elites and all those peeps are professionals at that, right? So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead. I got a little help from Jake here and there, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just talk about basically why we're here, right? One is, how do we find a deal? Number one, right? And then two, when we get that deal or find that lead, how do we take that lead to an appointment, right? How do we get on the horn and actually qualify the seller? Yes, qualify the seller, not the other way around, right? Where the seller thinks they're qualifying you, right? That's not how we do it. Some people do, and I definitely get it, but it's all about the art of the deal. You learn the art of the deal. Creative real estate investing is the key, because when all things go awry and they take a shit at the end of the day, creative real estate is what keeps you alive, and what keeps you flowing, and what keeps you from cycle to cycle to cycle, right? I am a product of the last cycle. My mentors are products of the cycles before that and before that, okay? So having a mentor is super, super powerful. So today, yes, I'm going to, you know, at the end of this, I'm going to offer you some things that we haven't offered other mentees throughout the United States of America. And that's because we're doing our part to give back. 2022 is around the corner. We're gearing up, so hopefully you're gearing up at the end of the day. But we're going to talk about this process. I'm going to go through it live on here on the screen. That's why I wanted to do it this way, instead of, you know, seeing my mug and, you know, if you need to see who I am and all that good stuff, or you don't know who I am, I'll share a couple of pictures here. We'll get into that. Some links you can go take a look at. And probably saying, well, who the hell am I, and who am I to share this stuff? Well, this is the thing. Got experience, for one, all right? Two, is because I can and I will. And we got these lovely platforms called social media now, right? To some it's a curse, and to others it's a freaking gift, right? So like Cardone says, man, social media is awesome. The millennials get it. People are into marketing get it. Because if you're in the real estate business, realistically, you're in the marketing business, right? Marketing you, marketing your brand, and sellers need to see that, right? So everybody has their own little twist on stuff. At the end of the day, it still comes down to the art of the deal, right? Nothing's changed. I mean, I've looked at stuff from 2003 to now and go, how many deals, how many people do I got to talk to get a deal? How many appointments do I need to get before I can, you know, land an offer and land a deal? You know, so a lot of things are still the same. It's just that the only thing is, yes, there's a lot of noise. You got Facebook, you got social media, you got Google ads, you got Facebook ads, you got Snap this, Snap that, all kinds of stuff. But, you know, it's a lot to handle. The bottom line is that one thing that is always true is that the art of the deal's never gone away. It's still there. It's your skill set. If you are awesome at what you do, of course, that takes practice, right? It's like if you're going to do anything in life, whatever it is, it takes time. You can't just come in and say, I'm going to be a CEO and rock and roll and and take over the world. Sure, if you got some experience and a plan and a game plan, you're ready for that, it'll happen. But without any preparedness or without practicing and going into it and making things happen, it's not going to happen. But having a mentor does chop that stuff down, right? That's what I did. That's why I moved up very quickly when I first got started. Of course, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I studied for about a year and a half, man. People, guys, gals. Before I got into the business, I was working, a little bit of history on myself. I was working 80 to 90 hours a freaking week, right? At a corporate gig, 40 to 48 hours on a salary, meaning that means I was making pennies on the dollar, right? Not seeing my family, not seeing my kids grow up, missing the best times of their lives when they're younger, right? I had to make a decision. I go, shit, I'm working 80, 90 hours a week already. So what do I do? Do I continue with this and move up the corporate ladder, get my 250K, buy a house, picket fence, get my cars, do whatever I want to do? But then you know what happens when you got kids and a family, it sucks up the cash. It disappears very quickly. Then I'm going to be back to going, shit, I need to make money. I need to invest. It's going to circle back to real estate anyways. So went back to quality of life, went back to freedom. I know everybody who sees this is probably going to say, I'll ask you a question. What is it that you want from real estate? Seriously, what do you think real estate's going to do for you? What do you think and hear about in regards to real estate? A lot of people hear, I can get into wholesaling. It's cheap, no money. I can make it happen easily, easy peasy, right? Yes and no. Just depends on where you're at in your life, where your mindset is at, and whether or not you're going to be able to get hammered, right, by sellers, investors, buyers. And then it's about analysis of paralysis. Now, you probably hear this videos and all this good stuff. The bottom line is never going to be watered down. I'm going to tell you as it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. At the end of the day, you guys make a decision. Hey, if you like what you see, I'm going to offer you a 6-month one-on-one mentoring program. We got coaching and all that other good stuff. The bottom line is that's what we're here to do, but we're in the field doing deals. I want to share some of that stuff with you. We're going to do some case studies and show you how we found a lead, and then what happened with the lead. How do we turn it into an appointment? How do we turn that appointment into an offer? And then how do we take that offer and actually closing and doing a deal, right? Or getting that deal, and then a new phase starts. It's called getting it sold, right? You either got a buyer's list, or as I always say, if you got a real deal, real buyers will come out of the woodwork, right? If it's a solid, juicy deal. And even then, you can wholesale it, sub to it, seller finance, take it down, fix and flip, hard money, traditional. There's 1,000 ways. I wouldn't say 1,000, but there's a lot of ways to take that down. And you should have multiple exit strategies on every deal. If you're wholesaling, you should look at it if you were going to buy it. If you wouldn't buy it, what makes you think someone else is going to buy that deal from you and selling that paper to someone else, right? Now, there's some marginal things there. It's either going to be a cash buyer or a buyer who's willing to spend, a little bit more on 70, 75 cents on the dollar because things have kind of changed thanks to the Chinese virus thingy. At the same token, what's going to happen? Hey, you pay a little bit more, can you? Sure. Well, the wholesalers, it's a one-trick pony. Here's the cash deal. It's 70, 75 cents on the dollar, 60, whatever, depending on where you're at. If it's Missouri, then it's like, 50, 55 cents or 60 cents on the dollar. If you're in California, it's going to be, hey, everybody wants 70 cents on the dollar, all in. That means, ARV minus repairs, and boom, that's my number, right? For example, $1 million property, that's got to be in there at 700,000, minus repairs and all that good stuff. Is going to be lower in that, depending on the repairs, right? Like, for example, there's one in Northern California, $150,000 in repairs, right? NOD, notice the trustee sale coming up and all that other good stuff, right? Now, those type of properties are good. They're distressed properties. You just have to lay down the art of the deal with the seller and provide some solutions to them, right? Now, that particular property that came down the wire was from the young man driving for dollars, right? He's driving for dollars. He found it, but the magic was in what? I always say magic. I don't like the word magic, but it's true. Magic or money in follow-up, right? Followed up. He didn't even follow up. They followed up because that property did not close. If it didn't close, so they called him and said, "Boom, okay, what do you do?" He came aboard the Amplify American Mentee program. 9 days later, we locked that sunbuck up, right? And under contract. And then we just needed to push it and sell it. It's a very, very unique property, right? It was huge, had a lot of bedrooms, good for sober living, assisted living, but sometimes the sellers, right? Sellers are, not going to be transparent, and that's okay. We're not here to call sellers liars. We're not here to call them out on stuff, but that's why you got to do your due diligence, right? And we did all of our due diligence, even when it came back with title and all these other things popped up and judgments popped up. We don't go back and, hey, you know what? You lied to us. No. We go back and say, here's what we have to do now. Things have changed because now we have a couple of judgments here and they need to be paid. So what do? Right? If it was a regular wholesaler, they're going to go, I don't know. I guess it's not a deal. Let it go. Boom, done. But if you have the art of the deal and you're into creative real estate investing, which is the key, and I want everybody who sees this video, get into creative real estate investing. Yes, it's creating competition, but there's more than enough for everybody, because here's the numbers on that, right? I'm going to kind of go off on a little tangent here, right? About 1 to 3% of investors in the United States of America really truly understand creative real estate investing or choose to do real estate investing, because there's a lot more to it than just writing a contract and trying to get it sold and get paid, which is easy and awesome, right? And it works. But like anything else, real estate is cyclical. It's going to change. Things are going to change. The cycle's coming, whether you want it to come or not. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. You adapt or you perish, period. So those things are going to happen. But when a deal like this comes to the table, guess what? You're going to be able to structure that deal and go, hey, yeah, we can still make it work. How? What do we need to do, right? What paperwork do we need to do? Get an authorization of release. Let's talk to the bank. Let's negotiate the judgments and things of that nature and bring those down. Hey, maybe if we go a short sale, then we can negotiate the first, eliminate the second, right? Get rid of those judgments. Now we got a nice juicy deal, right? Of a property that's worth 1.165 million, and now it's down to 600-something thousand bucks. Yeah, if it's a short sale, it may take time, right? 7-8 months, but who cares? Put in your pipeline, rock and roll, move on, keep on doing what you need to do. Fill your pipeline until it's overflowing, right? That's what you need. That's what you want. And if that pipeline's overflowing, you're not going to worry and stress out and babysit one deal. Oh, I got a deal, now I got to babysit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You got to get it done, right? It's all about hyper focus. But at the same token, even if we don't do a short sale, well, we can go back in. Let's eliminate those judgments. Okay, let's negotiate the second and bring it down. Even if we get it at 700,000-800,000, we're still doing good, right? Even if we had to take care of all those things, make up the back payments of 70,000-80,000 bucks or 50 or 40, doesn't matter. We're leveraging, right? We can leverage, take over the property, buy it sub 2, make up the back payments and reinstate that property. And then we can go ahead and do what? Put some money into it. Grab that 100, 150 is probably we're thinking. We could probably get done for 90 to 100 or less if we chop, not chopping corners. What it is getting good labor, babysitting the contractors, babysitting the rehab and all that good stuff. And guess what, right? It's only going to bring more money back to the bottom line. If you don't, then that's okay. You can still do it. 150,000, there's still some profit there. Put it back on the market. Days on the market are super low. Wherever you go in the United States of America, it's very rare that they're not, simply because people are buying shit left and right. Properties are selling higher than what they need to be, right? And that's going to change, and that's going to be the opportunity. That's why I say gear up now. Get ready for this. Learn the art of the deal. Learn creative real estate investing, because wholesaling will only go so far in the race, right? Plus, it's only a one-trick pony. And if you want to really understand what wholesaling is or where it came from, the bottom line is wholesaling is creative real estate investing. You just don't know that it is. Or if you do and you've been in the business a while, you're going, yeah, wholesaling is just that. It's selling paper. That's what was done in the commercial business before it became wholesaling. Even in the last cycle, it was still the same thing. It was selling paper, buying a property for 10 bucks, 100 bucks, leveraging it out, doing some creative real estate investing, getting some private money, fix and flip, or just sell the paper to your favorite investor or your buddy, right? Or whoever's in the business, and let them rehab it. And you get your 5, 10, 15, 20,000 bucks, move on to the next one. That's what I did when I got started. When I finally decided to go, you know what, I'm going to get into this business. And I started off, I'm going to lie, it's a freaking bird dog, right? A bird dog. All right. So if you know what that term is, awesome. If you don't know what a bird dog is, that's okay. It just means that, hey, you're looking for properties for an investor. You're looking for the ugliest properties on the block. It's kind of like driving for dollars, or like we like to call it, a term we call surfing for deals. We coined it back in 2010. We're just surfing for deals online. It's just like driving for dollars, same thing. But back in the day, the last cycle, right, we didn't have all this technology. We didn't have, we had internet, and we have websites. That's about it. And national 800 fucking numbers. It's crazy, right? But it worked, right? So the thing is that you go with what you go with, and you always want to stay on top of technology and stay on the curve, because that's what's going to win. Yes, it'll help you, bring in those leads. For us and for me and for everyone, it's always about quality. I'd rather have quality over quantity of lead, right? Now, you can do the spaghetti thing and throw a bunch of shit at the wall and just have all kinds of leads coming in, but eventually you'll burn out, get tired, unless you're going to build a village and build out a team. So if you're just getting started in this business, wholesaling is creative real estate investing. You just don't know that. And if you do, awesome. But wholesaling is just the one trick pony thing, right? Find a property. Here's my numbers. It has to be enough there for you to get paid and enough for an investor to get paid to fix it and flip it, buy and hold it. Yes, there's different investors out there that'll pay more because they want buy and hold. Awesome. Can you build a list now? I get this question. Do I build a list now, or do I build a list later? I say build a list as it comes. Hunt a deal first. Hunt your deal. Once you get a deal, right, then a real buyer will come to the table if it's written up good. If you're not doing your homework and you're not doing your numbers and you're not doing your due diligence, then yeah, you're not going to know, hey, do I have a good deal or not? Is this a good deal? Did I do the numbers right? Did I do the ARV right? Did I do my comps right? Every property, remember that, is not $20,000, right? So a lot of people teach all kinds of different things, and you hear things through YouTube University, things of that nature. Definitely get it, but you can only go so far at the end of the day by reading enough of that stuff. And if you got some training, awesome. That's cool too. If you got some training, awesome. But like I always say, there's nothing like being in the field. There's nothing like picking up a phone. Like when I got started, right, I had to figure this all out, build out my websites, test, build my brand, test, right? And then run ads, right? And the penny saver is like Craigslist, to run ads on there, spend some money on ads, because there's no such thing as paying for ads. You could, but they'd go in publications, right? I'm dating myself here a little bit. But it doesn't matter. The bottom line is they go to the website, they fill out the information. And last cycle, they still do the same thing. Or they call a national 800 number, press 1 for foreclosure, press 2 to sell your house fast, press 3 if you want to sell your house without a real estate agent, and get your free report now. How to sell your house within the next 7 days, right? Cash, right? Didn't matter what they pressed. I don't give a shit as long as they called and tracked their call. So they couldn't cry to say, oh, you're supposed to be on the do not call list. Oh, no, you called, you pressed 7 at 7:50. You press number 1 at 7:55. They can argue, it don't matter. The bottom line is you call back. What speed to lead is true, right? It's a nice little term that marketers use out there and investors, whatever. Speed to lead is true. Somebody calls, boom, get right on it. Because if it's not you in this day and age, it's going to be somebody else. The last cycle, I guess I was very lucky, because we call back and we talk to sellers and they go, hey, I called about 10, 15 of those We Buy House companies. You're the only one who called me back. Awesome. Right there, I said, niche. Let's do more. Let's do a lot more, because these some bitches ain't calling people back. So that was awesome, right? So, but today, yeah, everybody, if they got a team, they're calling back. But there are a lot of them. I'm not going to say there's a lot, probably 80, 85% rule, right? 80, 85% will not call back their leads, or they'll spend money on leads and they won't work them, or they say it's not working, blah, blah, blah. The 15%, 15% of people throughout the United States are going to rock and roll. They're going to call back. They're going to go after those deals. But if they suck at the art of the deal, or they suck at conversions, or they suck at building a relationship with the seller, right? Then yeah, there's going to be the experts, the 1 to 5% that'll come in and gobble those up, like ourselves or mentees that we work with, or just other people that understand the art of the deal, right? And they're already at that point where they're good at what they're doing. They're good at getting a call, and then they're good at taking that lead, right? And good at setting the appointment and befriending the seller, doing the due diligence. That's my thing. Here's a nugget for you. Do your due diligence correctly. Okay, the best you can. Become an expert at it. Your goal is to get as good as an appraiser as you possibly can. Okay, if you can do that, then you're going to get some respect from the other investors who have some experience by going, okay, yeah, well, your repair is pretty close. Okay, ARV, yeah, you're solid on your ARV. You're not going, here's a $500,000 property, a $500,000 property. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but you're using all these comps for 2 1s. That shit doesn't work. You know, you're going to piss off investors, and you're going to get stuck, right? And they're going to go, hey, you know what, send me something, do your due diligence. They're either going to put you on in the black book, put you in the spam folder, or not even answer your shit anymore, answer your calls, right? And some will say, put me on your list, you know, because it's not them that's going to filter through all the crap, right? It's going to be an assistant or someone else on their team is going to filter. And when something juicy comes down the wire, it'll go to the one who's running the business, right? For you, if you're just getting started, it's you, right? Just think of it this way. You got a franchise, but you don't got a bunch of employees. You're the one flipping the burgers. You're the one putting the mayonnaise and dropping the fries and taking the register. You're doing everything, right? But there is a method to the madness. There is a way to get it done, right? They're using the old elbow grease, a couple of bucks, but you have to understand it is a business. You got to treat it like a business. And what I always hear too is being consistent. I'm not consistent. Well, you have to be consistent. If you're not committed, you need to commit. You need to commit to this business, do or die mentality. If you're just going in, hey, you know what? You love your job, awesome. And you're just doing this because you want to make some more money, it still takes a commitment. Cool. I'm going to commit. And you should be. Usually people who do have jobs and stuff like that because they're already used to it, right? They're already used to the role of getting up and working, doing their thing. Same thing. You need to treat real estate the same way. You get up, you block off your time, you make your calls, you call people back, you touch base with them, you set the appointments, right? And you go to the properties, or you're going to write them up contingent upon inspection, right? And lock up that contract, and then, right, sell it off in the meantime. Or if you're local, and then you go to the property and you walk the property. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. All right. And then working the deal at the kitchen table, sitting down and getting them to sign the contract. That's the offer. Once you got the offer, now you got a deal, rock and roll time. Now we got to go and do what? Got to get it sold. Get that bad boy sold, put some money in your pocket, celebrate that win. And then once you celebrate that win, put the rest of it into your business and start scaling. Getting more leads, building your pipeline, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the how, right? How to take that deal, how to take a lead, how to take a potential, well, I know you will probably want to find out how do we find these things, right? Everybody says, hey, how do I find a deal? And there's lots of ways, they all work, right? Had a conversation yesterday with a mentee saying, man, you know what? Everything that I tried, and I like to call them verticals, right? Marketing verticals. In other words, start off with, I'm not a fan of it. I don't do it. We don't do it. But if somebody wants to do it, they can. And that's how Concord came about, right? I was driving for dollars. And that's a vertical, right? But you got to stay consistent. I'm not going to get too much into that. It works, but you got to do a lot of it. And, you know, you got to drive and look at properties. You got to do all this shit, pull the list and everything. That's fine. We like to surf for deals, right? So our first vertical for everybody who comes aboard in the first 30 days, surfing for deals, right? Surfing for deals. And what does surfing for deals mean, right? And I'll show you in a little bit, right? Surfing for deals is basically going to be, hey, you're going to do it on your phone. You're going to do it on your computer. Everybody who comes aboard starts off with the freaking shovel, right? Here's a shovel to dig the ditch. So you can dig the ditch deep, tight, walls and everything, right? You're going, why the hell would I want to use a shovel when I can use a bulldozer, right? Well, it's just part of the madness, right? That's what my mentors did to me, right? They threw me in there, had to do the shit all manually and the hard way, and then go, hey, here's a better way to do it, right? Because when those things are gone, when there is no bulldozer and you need to dig a ditch for your business, what do? You're capable and you understand how to do it, right? So it's the same thing, like if technology disappears, if Facebook disappears, if text disappears, if anything disappears, you can still rock and roll because you know what you need to do and you have the art of the deal to help you with that, right? That's, if you take anything from this event, anything from today, if you learn it and you learn creative real estate investing, you learn the art of the deal, remember that nobody on this planet can take it away from you, right? Because really, truly, the only thing you really have control in this world is your mind. That's it. Your mind is the only thing that you have control over. You don't have control over anything, right? Where you live, who you are, when you go out and drive, something gonna happen, you know, right? You can only take action when these things happen, right? But your mind is the one that has total control over your day, whether you're gonna have a good day, bad day, whatever, right? But the bottom line is, once you learn it, you learn it. It never goes away. If you want to share it, then you share it with whoever, your partner, your friend, your spouse, your family, right? Or you do what we're doing, and we bring in select people, we work with select people, make sure they can punch their way out of a paper bag, make sure they can follow directions, right? And be able to be coachable, take action. They're going to get results. We talk about those results so we understand what's going to happen. It's going to be downloaded to your conscious mind, which eventually will pop up into your subconscious mind based on triggers, right? So when we talk about those things, eventually you're going to get your aha moments. May come the first time, second time, third time, you go, oh, I get it. Aha, right? It's the aha moments. Then we rinse and repeat. Very simple. Do it over and over again. It's like if you want to learn piano, you can get on piano, you're going to sound like shit the first day. Maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, you get better and better at it. If you still like playing piano, and you'll eventually become an expert, right? Period. You can become an expert in anything. But there's also shortcuts to that. And I don't even like to use the word shortcuts, right? But it's true. Take someone else's knowledge, like I did from one of my mentors, Hal's Houses from, or Hal from Hal's Houses, right? Who owned a bunch of apartment buildings in Manhattan Beach, man. God rest his soul, right? But that's 40 years of experience that I bounced off of his butt. Of course, I spent a year learning the business, making sure that it was real. Can you really buy a house for 10 bucks? Oh, that's got to be bullshit. Late night infomercial stuff, right? They're like Ron LeGrand and was it Carlton Sheets and all that good stuff, right? You may have never even heard of those people. It's okay. Look them up. The bottom line is you have to understand the art of the deal, right? And how do you do that? What is that? What the hell is the art of the deal, man? Say like, get to the shit. Come on, I want to learn this stuff, right? Well, this is part of the process, right? It's called a part of the process of being coachable. Can you listen? Can you read between the lines? Can you take action and follow direction? I'm going to drop some nuggets down here that you can take and go into the field where you can use these today and you'll go get leads. Where you're going to go fish. Where? You're going to fish in a pond or an ocean where there's fish, right? And it's going to happen within minutes or seconds. And people are going to respond back. Say, yeah, I got a house for sale. Got a house for sale. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Then what do? Right? You guess, you figure it out, you watch a YouTube video and go, oh yeah, let me see what I got to do now. What's next step? Let me go to a group and ask somebody in the group. And that's like the blind leading the blind. Maybe 10, 15% are experts in those groups, right? And the admins who start them and run them, right? Even then, sometimes it's kind of, iffy, right? But it's like the blind leading the blind. Hey, how do I do this? Well, I think you go and do this and you try this and this is what I did. And you do this and you do that. It's like, it's crazy. It is what it is. Right? So there's nothing like having a Hal where I got to go to Hal and said, hey, this is what I got. What do I do? What do I need to do? Well, you need to go get an authorization release. I need you to get this signed. I need you to go to a notary and do this and do this. And I need you to get a memorandum of option on this. And I need you to go get it recorded after the seller's going to sign it, this and that. And there's a bunch of reasons for it. I'm not going to get into the actual story, but it's a cool story. It was one of my first deals with Hal. It was awesome. Some people know about it, others don't. But those are things that I had no idea. I will tell you, I became a contract freak, and I still am a contract freak because that's where you make your money. You make your money in structuring deals, using contracts, right? A pen and a paper and your brain to make this money. And that was one of my goals, right? To say, look, I grow up, I'm not going to pound a hammer. I'm not going to do a physical job. I'm not going to do any of that shit. And once I set my mind to it, that's why I moved into the corporate gig, right? I moved into working with people, running company and all that good stuff, P&Ls and learning everything. And then decided, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm not getting paid enough, making these people millions of dollars. Now I'm getting a freaking pennies on the dollar for my salary. What do I need to do? Well, real estate came back into my life, right? So I said, well, maybe I'll try it again. So I started studying and studying and studying. And then my wife, the boss, right, says, go out and get your real estate license. I said, I don't want my real estate license. I don't want my real estate license. So, but if there are some people you want a real estate license, go get it. Right? There's another mentor said, look, you'll make a lot more money with the real estate license. And other people are saying, no, don't get it. You can do other things, but it just depends on where you're going to go. If you're going to become a brokerage, go get it because there's a lot of money there, right? And then you can have your private firm as well. That's the direction that we do, right? You got a private firm, mortgage firm, real estate firm, marketing and training, right? Stack it up and boom, got yourself a nice little franchise licensed business, right? Awesome. It's not for everybody. Others I just want to go do some deals, man. I just want to do some deals, flip some deals, eventually buy, fix and flip, buy, hold, or I want to get into commercial and all this other good stuff. Awesome stuff. I commend you for doing so. You should, because once you get into it, guess what? You're going to get the bug. You're going to get obsessed. Once you do one deal will change your life if it's a good one, right? And one deal should change your life because it shows that it can be done. And if you did it once, you just got to do the exact same thing. follow directions, be coachable, take action, get results, rinse and repeat. Talk about those results. Why did it work? Why did that deal go through? Right? What could I have done better? And then fix it. Right? That's a amen right there, man. And guys and gals, that you got to deal. Doesn't matter if it's $1,000, 3,000, 30,000, or 300,000. You did it. Rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over and over. Commit. Put your head down and grind. Look up every once in a while to see what's going on, but don't pay attention to the Joneses. Oh, they did a deal. I see all this stuff on Facebook and this, and there's checks. Man, you got to be an idiot. Show your shit on Facebook. Here's a check. Okay, yeah. You know, if you do, the IRS going to come after your ass. You want to share that with the IRS? Fuck the IRS, right? Excuse my French. And all them people, you know, that, you know, it's just dumb. You know, life is certain things that should be expressed in certain things that shouldn't be expressed on Facebook, right? Or social media or anywhere, right? Privacy is privacy. That's why what we do every time we work with a mentee, yeah, it's exclusive, it's private. All right, we're papered up, disclosures, confidentiality agreements, you name it. But also the most important components are integrity and loyalty, and then communication. Communication could break down and be repaired. Loyalty and integrity cannot be repaired. Once those are destroyed, right? Those are a hard pill to swallow. I know I can't. We won't. That's just our policy and procedures. It's like, you don't call us, we don't call you. Good luck to you. But it's happened. That's why we do what we do, because I've been burned in the past, doing a bird dog deal and then sending off these hot deals to these investors. And guess what? I don't hear from them. I don't get no checks. Luckily, my wife was in the mortgage business and she was pulling titles. They go, hey, isn't this the guy that you gave this deal to? He closed it. I said, son of a bitch. Man, I got to figure out a better way on how to lock up these contracts, right? Now, I don't understand it, right? Why would you, why would you, what's that term? Yeah, you know, when someone's giving you stuff, you know, with the horse thing, I'm not even getting to that, right? What's it, something about the horse that feeds you or whatever? I don't know. Maybe someone does, you know, if you see this, type it in there, that'll be awesome. But, you know, when you give somebody something and then they go ahead and, you know, and they don't pay you for it, that's bullshit. That's the integrity and loyalty being chopped off. So that's when I started my policy procedures last cycle, a long time ago. You should adapt it. Don't deal with people's bullshit, or the ones that come down, well, you don't know who I am. You know, I've done 20 million deals and I got all this money, and no, I'm not going to sign your NC and D, and no, you don't need proof of funds. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't need to talk to you either. Bottom line, last cycle and this cycle, and our mentees do the same thing to others, man. Look, you know what I mean? So it's just part of the process. You get to work with who you want to work with. That's something I started a long time ago, and then I pass it on, right, to all the mentees and just people we work with in general, because look, life's too short. You don't need to deal with assholes. Don't need to deal with biatches. You don't need to deal with people who are jerks or people that don't want to be truthful with you and be transparent. Then that's part of the process, right? And that's part of what we do. Like we'll get into that a little bit right now about the role play, about talking to sellers and calling them and qualifying the sellers to see how transparent they're going to be. Okay. And when we do that, when we talk to a seller to see how transparent, now there's a dance there, right? There's the way that we do it. After you're surfing for deals and then your phone blows up with all these leads, copy and paste a couple of templates. They're going to go ahead and want to call you. They're either going to fill out the information in the comfort of their own home. You got yourself a super hot lead. You follow right up with them. Or they're going to say, please call me. Or they're going to say, hey, I think this is a robot or spam. No problem. Answer their email. Get on the phone. Text them. They're going to text you as well. Hey, I got a property in this location, right? Kansas or California or Florida. And you're going to go, oh, shit, that's great. Can you send me the address? Well, you emailed me. Well, okay. That's fine. It's a lead. Who cares? You move forward. You find out the information. Move it to a phone call. You can go back and forth. There's a lot of people trying to move everything through text and email, making stuff ambiguous, mostly text, right? But text gets lost in translation, right? I've done it several times. I'll text something and somebody thought I was saying something crazy and mean to them. I said, no, look, then I call them right back. You took it all wrong, right? You took that whole text that I sent you wrong. Right, so let's get on the same page. A phone call corrects that. And not to mention, you want to move faster in deals, get on the damn phone. Don't try to get all the information through text. And yes, you can contact more people through text, but once they go through your filter and they filter down to a hot lead, get on the phone, lock them up, make that phone call, go through the full lead gen form. I'm going to show you one right now. See, we might have it here. Let me pull it up, right? but I want to go ahead and do this by steps, so you at least see the steps, and then you can watch the video and go through the steps as well. I'm just kind of laying a lot of overview and a lot of stuff. We're here for 2 hours now. You may not be here for 2 hours. That's okay, right? But I can talk about real estate all day long, and just going to drop a bunch of nuggets here. So I'm going to get started on how to find that deal, different ways of finding the deals, verticals of real estate, and then what do you do with that lead when it comes in? Is it a hot lead? How do I figure out if it's a hot lead? Is it a cash deal, a sub-2 deal, an option deal, right? And then move it over to the second call is what we like to do here, right? So this is a golden nugget. Pay attention. If you listen or if you do this, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. If you don't want to, then I definitely get it. But this is what we do. We make the second call. During the second call, we're going to go ahead and confirm that everything they said on the first call is true, because we pull title. It's called doing your due diligence. Got to learn how to do the due diligence, learn how to break down that deal, get all the correct ARV. Is there a deal in this thing or not? If there's no deal, we're not going to make a second call. We're going to call them maybe or shoot them a text, say, unfortunately, this deal is not for us. If you don't get it sold, please give us a call back, or if things change, I'm going to follow up with you in 30 days. You follow up with them in 2 weeks. Money in the follow-up. Trust me, a lot of deals come down the wire that way, and you move on. If it is, and it looks like you did your due diligence and there's a deal there, guess what? We're going to move forward. Give them a second call, reiterate everything that you found on title report, or, because a lot of times there's going to be people say, we have one now, was full disclosure, I changed the name, right? It's a PJ, right? Hey, PJ's on the phone. You get a full, they're going in to get the full submission, and we pull title, and there's another person named John Smith on title. Then who the hell are we talking to? I'm not talking to the owner. We need to talk to the owner, right? Then we'll look and go, oh yeah, no, is there a NOD or foreclosure on this property? No, there isn't. Okay, well, we pull it up and yes, there is. There's a sale coming up in October. So what does that mean, right? That's why you do that. You do the due diligence so you don't get caught with your shorts down or try to lock up a deal, serve it to an investor, and then they find out all this stuff. That kills your credibility, shows that you're inexperienced, right? They're not gonna wanna do deals with you, right? Now, we'll do deals with you. We'll just say, hey, then you need some education. Maybe if you're good and you can punch your way out of a paper bag, let's work together, right? Let's get you on the right track and we'll bring you aboard. Others who say, no, I got it covered, or either not trainable or coachable or don't listen, yeah, leave that for all the other people, and we move on, right? That's kind of how AHA came aboard, or come into fruition, right? Is Americans helping Americans. And then eventually in 2010, that's what we did. And then 2016, we came out with our Amp Live American Mentee program. Before that, it was National Real Solutions from 2003, 2010, revamped everything and came back for the new cycle. And now we're prepared for the next cycle, right? Because 2022 is coming, 23, 24. We're going to start getting into pre-foreclosures, short sales, REOs, flat market. That's the time if you got cash stacked, buy the shit out of anything you can get, because pure gold is going to make you money. And then the market's going to start going up again and readjusting through a brand new cycle, right? It's guarantee it. It's going to happen. Mark my words. If you don't believe me, if you're around when the next cycle happens, which you will, right? If you're alive and you're breathing and you thank God that you are, then we'll see you for the next cycle. But we're gearing up for that now because the writing's on the freaking wall. So this video or this meeting and this event is going to help you. Creative real estate investing. I'm telling you, go out and learn it, right? If you want to learn it, then come aboard to see if we're a good fit. There may not be some links down there. Let's chat, let's talk. If we're a good fit, awesome. If not, that's okay too, right? Because we're not for everybody and everybody's not for us. It just depends on where you're at in your career, right? A lot of people have spent $2,000 for YouTube University for a flip guy this or that or whatever, and whoever's out there doing stuff. And then you got your mentoring programs like the ones that are 50K, 30K, and you get one call a week, and you get people trying to figure out how to do the business with 50,000 videos and all that good stuff. Definitely get it, right? It works, but not everybody's going to take that one. Was going to be that 1 to 3% and study, action, and be consistent and do it, because that all works, right? It's just the person may not be ready for that yet, right? And then they shelve it, and then they come back 2 or 3 years later. That's the only reason we started AHA, Americans Help Americans, back 2010, because I got sick and tired of hearing people saying I spent 50K on training and a seminar, and it's been a year and a half and I haven't done a deal yet. Well, what? You haven't done a deal yet? What's the problem, right? There's a lot of things. I'm not going to get too much into it, but there's a lot of problems with, one call a week. Some are just email support. Others are one call a week, and you get to jump in some Facebook groups and it'll blind leading the blind, all kinds of shit, YouTube University, which is cool. I'm not one to watch a video and I just have the attention span, but I can read a book, right? That's how I learned, right? I read books. Yes, I bought Carlton Sheets' little $19 course. And I studied and studied and studied the shit out of his CDs. Yes, there are CDs, right? And I was looking for all the nuggets because the numbers didn't match up every time they break down a deal. I go, well, where's the money? How did they get a loan? There's no money. Couldn't get a loan for this. The property was this much. I go, oh, shit, they're using private money. They're going out, had a good solid deal, had a good split. They went and found another investor, write a check. You do all the work to fix it and flip it. Investor just wants to get a check back. Oh, shit, that's better than a bank, right? A moratorium for 6 months. What? I don't have to make a payment for 6 months. After 6 months, I got to start making a payment. Shit, I can get this thing sold in 30 days. Fix it and flip it. Awesome, right? But you got to split it, right? Now, some people do that. Some people don't. I think I only did that one time my last cycle. Wasn't into 50-50 splits. Now we are, because that's what we do now, right? Kind of shifting stuff, and it's funny how things happen, right? But private money, right? Private money is super powerful. See, if you learn the private money part of it and you are the deal and you got a wholesale deal and you go, hey, I got a wholesale deal. Shit, I wish I could do this deal myself. Well, you can if you had enough experience or you understood what needed to be done, right? And you go, shit, there's money here. What? Where can I go out and find the money, right? Because if you got a real deal, real investors come to the table that want to buy, and real investors come to the table that are willing to write a check to invest in that property, either become a partner or write you a check, right? Loan you the money based on the equity in the property. Is called first trustee investing. Then they'll go ahead and do what? Loan you the money and just write a check, and you go fix it up, put it back in the market, resell it. If you don't pay them, yeah, they're going to foreclose on your butt, take the property, right? And it is what it is. So that's why you perform. But like my mentor told me, right? You make your money when you buy it, not when you sell the property. People go, well, what are you talking about? I make my money when I sell it. No, you make your money when you buy it. Because if you buy it right, even if you got to dump the son of a bitch, you're going to make money. So you make your money when you buy it, not when you sell it. So when you think about writing up these deals, and I know people are saying, oh, write them up marginal and, speculate and all kinds of crazy stuff. You can play that gamble too. It's called stock brokerage, right? Be a stockbroker and gamble with, products that are not really there, right? It's tangible and intangible things, right? Real estate's a tangible thing because it's there. It's physically, you got contracts and stuff, right? So you can do that. So take some of those nuggets and remember that it can be done. Some of you may be doing that stuff. Awesome. I congratulate you for doing so. If not, it's part of the process. When everybody comes aboard, yes, we get the deals. I'm going to tell you just a real brief synopsis, and then we're going to get into it, okay? Brief synopsis is first 30 days, you would get a welcome email. After the welcome email, you got to learn how to break down deals, which is the same thing I'm going to teach you today, right? How to find that deal. And what do you do when you find a deal? But you got to do something first, right? We got to break down and teach you how to do what? Due diligence. If you know how to do due diligence, awesome, right? Everybody's a little bit different. But you got to do you got to do the due diligence part because you want to make sure you got a deal. Make sure you know and smell what a deal is. You may think, okay, I got it, 70 cents on the dollar, 75 cents on the dollar. I got a wholesale deal, right? But at the same token, you may have a sub 2 deal there, right? You may have an option. You may have a creative seller real estate deal. Heck, you may get your signage and stuff out there and do some marketing, get a marketing deal, right? There's different things here that I'm going to share with you that's probably being done out there or not. But everybody does things a little bit differently. So that's why we can say what we do is unique, because what we do is unique in our own way, right? And then we share that with you or anybody who comes aboard. Right now, I'm going to share some of that with you today live, and it's going to go out there. It's content. It'll float around. Save the video, watch the video. It'll either be on YouTube, the group, or wherever we decide to put this thing, right? But the main line is to get on here, to lock it up. It's content and it's shareable, right? So then we feel we're doing our part to give back, okay? So when we do that, you got to make sure you do the due diligence, right? And make sure you know what a deal is. Then the next part is role play, because you can have all kinds of deals come in, but if you don't know how to talk to a seller, work the seller, get the information that's needed, I guarantee you don't. If you do, it's because you're experienced and you've been in this business 2, 3, 4, 5 years or longer, or you had an awesome mentor to get you and speed you up right in the next 6, 7, 8 months of your career or year or two, and you got that stuff covered, right? Awesome. but we like to do role play, right? And we use a lead gen page. I'll go ahead and share that with you real quick. Okay, see if we got one pulled up here. If not, we'll just go ahead and pull it up. We'll go ahead and pull up pictures. Yep. Okay. All right, you ready? Check this out. Everybody has these. Everybody has a lead gen page. They all work. Bottom line is you got to have a lead gen page, but this works as a couple of things. 2 birds, 1 stone. 1, it's a lead gen page. 2, it's a script, right? And 3, it's a lead generation machine. So at the end of the day, where you're asking all these questions, you go, oh my God, why can't I just get the name, email address, and a phone number? Sure. If you want 100 shit leads, not I'll say 100 shit leads. If you want 100 leads and maybe 80 of those are going to be shit leads, but they're not always shit leads. You just got to cultivate them, run them through your autoresponders, and about 20% are the ones that you really want to talk to, right? That's what we'd rather do, right? That's what this does. And there's different ones. This is the long form. There's another one that's set up like Zillow, where it's just one piece of information at a time. And we've tested both 50-50. All right, they both work. So it's funny. Some people say, oh, no, the long form doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather just get the short form and go that route. And okay, doesn't matter. You still got to get the damn information anyways. So we like to get it on one call. Okay. So what'll happen is we get all this information, right? And then it gets submitted. Boom, submit it. And sellers will submit this stuff when you give them the link and they have some credibility and things of that nature. They'll fill it out. Now you got yourself a super hot freaking lead, right? So that's the lead gen page. And when somebody comes aboard, everybody gets one of those, right? And it's a way to track everything. But we'll go back to, let's start off. How do I find a deal, right? Okay, different verticals. You got surfing for deals, one vertical. You got your data. Some of you may be doing data, pulling information, pulling, skip tracing, and then loading it up into a CRM or a text platform or whatever platform you're using, right? And that's called data, right? That's your data vertical of marketing. Then you got, I like to separate this and call it calls, right? You got your another vertical, which is cold calling, or you're following up from your text marketing campaigns. In that vertical, all right, of calling, you should be calling your list 4 to 6 times, right, throughout the month. A lot of people call the list and go, oh, that didn't work. It was shit. I must have got shitty data. No, it's just that you did a shitty job. You didn't do what you needed to do. You want to get 10 to 15% conversion rate, or not even conversion rate, but a response rate in regards to talking to those people. You call 1,000 people, you want to, right? You want to talk to 100 to 150 people. Out of that 100 to 150 people, you're going to break it down to about 20 solid people. If you break it down to 20 solid people, you're going to get 5 to 7 appointments, 5 to 7 appointments. You're going to write up 1 to 3 offers, and you're going to get 1 to 2 deals accepted. Nothing's changed from last cycle to this cycle. It's the same thing. The only difference is that there's a lot of freaking noise, right? I got my Google ads, my Facebook ads, I got Instagram, I got Facebook, I got social media this, social media that, direct mail. Some go, oh, I don't use direct mail anymore. Others do, and it works for them. Others tried it and didn't work for them. Others got tons of leads and shit canned all their leads because they weren't prepared to take the call, right? So these things, there's a method for the madness at the end of the day, okay? And it all works. Doesn't matter what you do. Trust me, they all work, right? But you got to hyper focus on what's happening here, right? So what I'm going to do real quick is share something with you. I'll skip through it, Reader's Digest version, okay? Now, obviously, it's Appt, the American Mentee program. And obviously who I am, right? I'm Eric Jimenez. I'm a creative real estate expert and mentor, speaker and coach as well, right? Line it up these days, right? 16 years, well, I was a couple years old. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? So I'm creeping up on a couple of decades here. We do have a real estate mortgage company, a real estate firm as well that we have on my wife's side. So we do the traditional stuff, but I am the head of the private real estate investing side of things. Yes, I am the founder of America's Helping Americans, the founder of Appt, the American Mentee program, with a lot of other things that are coming down the wire, right? Who are we? I kind of explained that to you, right? Who we are, what we do, what we love, what are our core values, and hopefully they line up with yours, right? It's all about God, family, business, and everything else after that. I'm not a holy roller, but I am a God-fearing man, right? At the end of the day, I do believe in God, and I have no shame about it. And that's what keeps me rocking and rolling, along with reading and staying focused and visualization and affirmations. All that stuff works, right? And you got to believe in yourself. That's one of the reasons why I started in 2010. I said, do we want to babysit like a brokerage, babysit a bunch of agents, or babysit a bunch of mentees and mentors and things of that nature? I said, yes, because it's in my core, and that's what God's led me to do. And there's no bullshit involved in that at the end of the day, because it's true. All right. So I'm going to move forward a little bit further. We got what we do. Yep. We're in the deal. We're in it. No one does this 7 days a week, one-on-one mentoring 7 days a week. Okay. And yes, because deals are done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yes, after 5 p.m. So we are in it. We actually are in the field doing deals. It's not about, hey, check out my deal. Here's what I did. It's, no, it's how about check out the mentees deal if they want to share it, because there it's up to them. A lot of them don't, man. They say, hey, no, I keep this shit to myself. It is my deal. And they'll share it with whoever they want to. And we leave it at that, right? That's why everything's exclusive. I think of it as a private firm that's all together working towards the same thing, and that's to help our families build a legacy, have some freedom in our lives, right? Get out of the job scenario and mentality, right? To become an entrepreneur, to do this, even if you do it part-time and you do a deal a quarter, it'll change your life, right? You'll probably make more at your real job. We had one gentleman, God rest his soul, right? Started off brand new newbie. No CRM, no nothing, just calling shit on Facebook Marketplace and talking and gambling and rolling the dice. Sometimes you write an offer is too high. Sometimes it'd be just right. And guess what? He worked at a regular place, in the Midwest, full-time job, and started closing deals. He said, man, I'm doing awesome. I'm already at $150,000. Cool, man. I'm going to quit my damn job. Awesome. That was the goal, right? So, it's going to change your life. Then, and plus he had, a record label that we're going to be talking about and maybe working together. I was going to buy his label and he'd stay on as the festival guy and things of that nature, right? But you never know who you're going to meet. You're going to meet awesome people in this business, right? You're going to meet a lot of awesome people, and there will be people that want to help you, but you got to be able to help yourself first. Show that you can punch your way out of a paper bag. Bring tremendous value to them like I did with Al. I brought tremendous value. I had a choice of spending $20,000 with Ron LeGrand, $20,000 with Carlton Sheets or Al Laurie or any of those guys. But when I found out I wasn't going to be mentored and trained by them, to be someone reading out of a damn book and shit, I said, next, plan B, got to do it myself, had to buckle down. And sometimes you do your best work when you're up against the wall. And it's true, because God is there for you, and he'll make things happen when you're ready for them. And when your eyes are open and the opportunities are there and you recognize those things, things flow. But we're human beings, man, right? Life is there to kick your butt. It's always going to be kicking your butt every day. But if you have a positive mental attitude with action and you keep on moving forward, you can defeat that, right? It's going to be automatic. You got to train your mind to be automatic and to accept those things and move forward and helping others as well, right? It's not about always the money, money, money. Money is the thing that makes things happen, and it'll make you better at what you are and what you do, for sure, right? But that's why we did this. Decided, how do we do that? How do we do that without charging someone 50 grand? Or the highest one I think was 85,000 for a 3-day bus tour. Lunacy, right? So why the heck we want to do that? Anyways, and this is what this is something I want to share with you too, right? Something if you stick it out and you learn creative real estate investing, eventually a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, however long it takes, right? Usually with people working with us within the first 6 months, will shave off about 2 to 5 years in this business, because we're working with you exclusively, and your first deal might be a creative deal, might be a sub-2 deal, maybe a wholesale deal, and everything kind of floats and moves forward, and you get your aha moments, right? There's a method for the madness. I always say, give us $1 million, we'll buy 10 houses. Yes, here in California, where the average house is $500,000 to $700,000, $400,000 to $700,000, right? You're probably, well, how the hell are you gonna do that? It's called leverage, right? Can you do it with hard money, traditional lending? Yeah, but you can only buy so many properties with hard money and lending and all that good stuff, right? And you got to have the money to be able to put down and all that good stuff. Same thing, but with leverage, you can do that. You can do it with $80,000 to $100,000 and lock up a $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million property, right? And the Midwest, hey, shit, you give us $1 million, we'll probably end up buying 100 houses, right? But it's going to be some work. You buy each house for about 10, 20, 15,000 bucks, even though they may be worth 100 to 200. So you see where I'm going with this, right? The bottom line is that it's leverage. Leverage is key. And if you do your numbers and go, hey, leverage over cash on cash return on investment, right? And what your return on investment would be using hard money or traditional, and how many you can actually use in leveraging out a deal, it's astronomical, right? You'd be a fool not to do it. But there are older dogs that, nah, just give me cash. I do cash. Cash is awesome. Cash is king. Give me king, cash. I definitely get it, right? It works, you know, and maybe one day I'll get to that point. But I love the art of the deal. I love structuring deals and shit. Love saving money too. So, right? So it's all relevant depending on where the situation, what it's about. Okay. So share a little bit of something like that. This was pretty cool right here. This is a gentleman in the last cycle. We actually bought his property for about I think we gave him $70,000 cash. We went in there. This whole garage is filled with trash. The whole house is filled with trash. We fixed it up, put it on the market. He just needed some money to buy his son a mobile home, and then went ahead and found that mobile home with the $70K. He moved out. We went in there, fixed it, put it back on the market, and then we cashed him out. And that was us giving him his check, because he did get remarried. He had a new house, a new wife, and he just needed some cash, that extra $70K, right? To do what? To go ahead and go on a cruise and spend some money and take care of his new woman, right? So he's a happy camper. And that's the cool thing about this. And we get people who call back several years later and say, hey, I just want to thank you for helping us out. And we're talking about, yes, real estate investing, foreclosures, short sales, just sellers in general, right? So it's all reciprocal at the end of the day, and it's all cyclical as well, because things come and go in cycles. So this is how we're different. One-on-one mentoring. Yes, everything is plug and play as well. So what I mean by plug and play is, yes, we set you up with your lead gen page. We set you up with the drifts. We set you up with marketing. We set you up with all the things that you need, but only when you need them, right? Facebook marketing, Google ads, all that stuff will come down the road. It's usually the first week is a welcome email. Let's get your mindset down. Let's make sure you're reading the right books. Let's get you prepared for doing this business. Second week, we're doing how to break down a deal, which is all your due diligence. The third week, we're doing live role play back and forth to get you prepared while everything's being set up on the backside with your lead gen page and tools and all that good stuff and marketing that you're going to need after the 30 days. And we go to the third week, we're doing that role play, live role play, get you prepared. Once you feel good and you're ready to go, and say, yes, I'm ready to just go, unleash me. Then we do fourth week is surfing for deals. We're going to surf for deals, and we're going to hunt deals, and they're going to explode on your phone and email and computer and all that good stuff, usually within minutes, right? And we're going to show you how to fish in a pond where there's sellers are at, or an ocean. And then the bottom line is you're going to start working them. Once we start working them, usually within 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how fast we go, right? Because we'll go as fast or as slow as you need to go. What'll happen is you'll start talking to sellers. We'll start going on appointments, right? When we start going on appointments, what's going to happen? You're going to go on appointments. I'm going to help you. We're going to work with you. We're going to be there together and show you how to walk the house, because there is an art in walking the house. When you get to that point, it's called an appointment, right? When you get to an appointment, or you can write a contingent upon inspection and then go to the property. There's a lot of people doing that as well. But we're not into the bait and switch thing. Well, hey, we're going to write it up just to get in and then go ahead and start chopping you down, chop, right? It's not fair to the seller. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to your investors. Yes, you can say it is, right? But you're going to put your integrity and loyalty on the line. If you're into that, that's up to you, man. We don't condone it, but we do things a little bit differently. And that's how it rolls. Once we do that, we have we do the grand tour of the house, right? You're going to befriend them. You're going to write notes, and you're going to go to the kitchen table, and you're going to sit down at the kitchen table, and then we're going to work a deal, because we already have those things. We've already talked before, and we're going to already have a game plan of offer 1, offer 2, offer 3. If none of those work cash, then we're going to move to terms. We're going to go, well, we could pay more if we decide we want to. Offer 4, which is cash and terms, or offer 5, we're going to go cash and some terms later. And if none of that works, hey, we're going to offer them, some marketing, get some signage out there, pay for their marketing, and get your sign out there so you can get some more deals. So there is a method for the madness. I don't share that with a lot of people online or even things when we do these videos, right? Because those are proprietary things that we like to keep to ourselves, but it works. They're there. And if you do them and adopt them, I guarantee you get results. You always do. Everybody always does. And if you don't, it's because you're trying to change something, right? If it's already working, don't try to change it. Oh, I don't want to put that word, or I don't know, I want to skip that step and skip that step, right? It's like, I hate to use the Big Mac analogy, but it's like McDonald's. Their burgers taste the same every time, right? Or go somewhere else, right? Or Lambo is always built the same way. When you get in it and you drive it, it's awesome, right? It's not like, hey, you bought one and you go buy another one in that Lambo. If you skip some steps, you skip some steps on how to build the engine and how to build out the car, it's going to run like shit. So it's not going to be a Lambo anymore, right? So same thing. You are the Lambo. You are the one. You are the key. And if you follow the steps and the processes, right, and you become the expert, it's second nature. It just flows like a lifestyle. And that's the goal here. And that's the goal for us, because hopefully in 6 to 12 months, we're doing deals, we're rocking and rolling. And 12 months, you get up and running. So we're hoping that, hey, you got deals, bring them to us and say, I want to give them to Eric and AHA, Americans Out Americans, if they helped us out, and see if they buy the deal. Awesome. If they don't, we run them through the network. If they don't get sold, hey, it's okay. At least you're up and running, and you're fulfilling your destiny and your business at the end of the day. Okay. So some of these things are I'm sharing with you that I don't share with others, right? One-on-one mentoring, you got it. So we talked about some of this already with the, different programs that are out there. Why have a mentor? Well, shit, here's my little 2 cents on a mentor. I had a choice of spending 20 grand on, some seminar, or not seminar, but a program with people reading out of books and, watching videos and all that shit, or one call a week and all that other good crap. Or I worked with a mentor, but I offered tremendous value. I also had my business built up, and I was spending money, and I was rocking and rolling with some deals, but I needed to, eventually I wanted to fix and flip and buy and hold and stuff, right? So what happens is, hey, if I had to say it, I made him about $500,000, right, in exchange for my mentoring and my training, because I got to go with him. I got to sit with him. I got to see how his inflections of his voice and how he walked the house, and how he, would speak higher and then lower, and then, just working with the seller. It was awesome, right? It was the art of the deal. And of course, the paperwork and things that I couldn't have figured out. I say, like, well, I'll throw you out there. It's a Rosemont deal, and it was about 150,000, I think, in the deal. I believe, don't quote me on that, it's about right, 150,000 in it. It was the first, a second, 5 heirs on the property. She was behind on the first. The second property, she was went out and bought a loan, or got a loan to try to fix it up, put a little lipstick on the pig, like putting lipstick on a pig, and it was still a shitty rehab. And then her heirs are going, I want to get paid, I want to get paid, I want to get paid. Oh, I'm trying to sell it. Listed it, did not sell. Listed it, did not sell. Listed it, did not sell. We came in. I talked Cal into it. He didn't want to didn't want to go simply because, she had a psychic and a medium that she needed to consult first and all this crazy stuff before we even went to the deal. Hal said in his infinite wisdom, next, not going to do it. Not going to happen. Good luck. But, at that time I was hungry. I needed to put my business together and just keep rolling. I said, man, I got to get some of this. This is the deal. So I pushed, got the appointment, went back to Hal. Sold them on it. And I said, look, I'll drive. I'll pay for gas. I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you dinner. I'll pay for your time. He said, no, don't worry about it. Go out and give me some authorization to release. Give me the bank statements on the first and the second. I need the names of all the heirs so we can look them up and how much and what are the percentages are and all that other good stuff. And I'm going to look up the banks, and I got all that information. So he put me to the test. If he does this shit, I'll go. So I did all those things, and he didn't probably think I would. And I came back, go, here you go. You ready? Let's go. I set up an appointment for Saturday. Boom. He said, all right, cool. He said, don't worry about it. You don't have to drive. I'll pick you up. So what's your address? He gave me the address. He gave him the address. He picked me up. We went to the property, and this is what happens. Here's kind of like a synopsis of how this flows, right? Where you got the deal. I qualified the seller. I got the appointment. Now we're going to go to the house so we can write the offer. And before we went to the house, he asked me, what do you want to do? How do you want to work this? You want to wholesale it? You want to come in 50-50? You want a JV? You want to fix and flip? You got any money? We consulted. We had a powwow about it. And I said, I just want to wholesale. I just want, some money off of it, and you write me a check, and I'm going to go get you more deals, Hal, right? I'm going to go ahead and keep my business running. And that's what happened. Picked me up, went to the house, got to see how he walked the kitchen. He goes, first he asked for the tour, right? And that's the same thing we do with everybody. I'll give you the tour. Talk to the seller, befriend them. Let them give you the grand tour of the property. Once you got the grand tour of the property, you're walking around. I'm walking behind him with the camera and taking pictures with the pad. He's, building a relationship with the seller, talking about stuff on the wall, family, this and that. Then we sat down at the kitchen table to work the deal. Once we sat down at the kitchen table, right, I shut up. I didn't say a damn word. I let him do his thing. He'd look at me once in a while. I'd say a couple things here. He'd go back to Hal, negotiate. While we're negotiating, we get up and I say, hey, okay, we're all done. Do you want me to go take pictures of the property? Yes. Let's go ahead and walk the outside of the property as well. As we're walking the outside of the property and everything, he asked me, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do the deal. All right, what do I have to do? Well, you need to get a memorandum of option because she's kind of, real slippery. So let's get a memorandum of option. You have to record that thing. I said, what the hell is that? What is a memorandum of option? Why do we need one? By that time, I was already a contract freak, right? I knew everything about contracts inside and out, read every word, knew everything about what the terms meant and definitions. So I go, memorandum, can I see it? Go, yeah, here you go. So I read it about 10, 15, not even that. It was about 2-3 minutes, read the whole thing. It wasn't even that long. It's a one pager. So I read it, I go, okay, great. You're going to place a cloud on the titles, what you're saying for $20,000 in case this lady decides that she speaks to her psychic and says, do not sell the house to Eric and Hal. And then he's fucked because he's spending money and he's spending time and I'm spending time and he gives me a check for the deal and he's stuck, right, with 50, 60,000 bucks out of his own or whatever he spends at probably the first couple of weeks. That's why he put 20 grand on it, right? So I said, okay, I get it. Yeah. What do I need to do? Well, you got to get her to sign these contracts, get her to sign the contract, the addendum, and this memorandum of option. I would go ahead and call a mobile notary and have them come to the property. I said, oh, okay, awesome. I'll do it. I'm on it. So that's what I did. That was my job. While he was continue walking the house and talking to her and this and that, we got the notary, showed up, said, okay, great. That was my job to get it all signed up, got the contract side, the addendum side, the memorandum of option, and then gave it to Hal and said, where's my check? I want my check for 10 grand, right? Because I needed to go get some more deals. Right. So he was going to make the bulk of the money, but he had to deal with the first, he had to deal with the second, deal with the 5 heirs. The second was through a credit union, which was a smaller bank, which he was going to go buy that loan, right? And at a discount and eliminate it. And so there's things that I would have never known, right? As a bird dog or coming into a wholesaler, just want to sell the paper. There's no way I could have done that deal. I wouldn't have known, right? But that's the beauty of working or having with a mentor, it shaves off that time. Right? It would have took me probably years to figure out how to structure a deal like that. In the meantime, I'm losing out on thousands of dollars because I can't do them or I won't do them or I'm looking, man, that's too much work or I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to get it done. Right? So that's the beauty of having a mentor, man. Like I said, I probably $500,000 what I made them. I wouldn't have done it any other way. I'm glad I didn't go the other route, right? I had somebody who really cared because he could have ripped me off. He could have burned me. He could have took that deal like the others did when I was bird dogging, right? And I'm sure it's probably happened to you. And if it hasn't happened to you, I guarantee you it's gonna happen to you. It's just time. It's gonna happen. Even if you're educated at the end of the day, that's why there's policies and procedures. There's others that go, oh man, just give me the address. Well, you got to qualify those buyers, qualify those sellers, right? Until you get your core going. Once you got your core going, then, and you build a team, then you can do all that good stuff throughout. If it's under contract, who cares? That's one deal, right? Go, how are you going to steal my deal? Well, if it's under contract, I can still go to the seller, right? Others can go to the seller and offer more money. Well, it's an escrow. Well, that's cool. They can close escrow. They can not close escrow, but cancel escrow. Hey, cancel that escrow. I'll give you more money. Okay, and they go cancel it, and you go, hey, what's up? What's wrong with the buyer? What's wrong with the seller? They ghost you. They're not answering your calls. Their attitude changes, right? Because they want more money and they're greedy. That shit happens, right? But if you buy it subject to existing financing, guess what? That property is yours. Property's yours, can't take it away. The only way they take it away is try to take you to court for it, right? But you already signed it over. They're responsible for the loan at the end of the day. And if they stop making the payments or you stop making the payments, going back to foreclosure, right? That's what's going to happen. They're going to be back into foreclosure, or they're going to be back in a position that you just help them get out of. So it's super important to build those relationships, okay? All right. So power of having a mentor, super awesome, man. It helped me a lot. And that's all I did is go back to see what happened, what worked and stuff. And I want to share that with you. The numbers are the numbers. I'm not going to get too much into that. Yes, it's priceless. What you get with us, not going to get into any of that stuff, right? Here's some of the marketing that we share, right, with others. And this stuff works, and we'll show you how it all works. And it's rebranded to help you out. So this way you're not trying to figure out all this stuff and spend thousands of dollars on websites and all kinds of other stuff. We had other mentees that come aboard and go, man, I spent $15,000 on websites and Google and all kinds of other stuff and still no deals, right? Probably $10,000 on postcards. I've had one military guy in the Midwest do that. Yeah, they told me to go ahead and do a bunch of postcards, right? Spend your money on postcards and, and all that other good stuff, and got tons of leads, but he wasn't prepared to take those leads, so they shit canned him. And that's just the way it is. It sucks. Go ahead. Brett, it's cool. He did his first deal. He got into it for wholesale. He went to the Clever, spent $20K. At the end of the day, he ended up doing a fix and flip with us instead of a wholesale deal. We actually did a sub-2 deal. You go to a website. This is on a website. Yes, the challenge. I've been doing challenge since 2010, 10 years. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of this real quick. And let's get back to let's show you where you can find the deals, right? Now I'm going to go here. It's simple. Check this out. It's crazy, right? Let's see, we're right here. Okay, so you can go Craigslist, man. Tons of stuff here. You go Craigslist, this Kansas City. I don't care where you're at, right? Housing. You'll be able to find for sale by owners, and you'll be able to find deals here. Copy and paste the template. Boom, right? You don't even want the We Buy House one. You just want to take that shit out and go with maybe a motivated seller. Whoops. See what comes up, right? There's actually a deal that we have in Missouri. So if you got any Missouri buyers, bring them on down, man. We'll work out. We'll do a JV. Okay. So there's going to be deals from other investors, right? There's going to be deals that others have, you know, and even if we go here, we're going to go to housing and we'll search, see what comes up. It's about 100 to 120, 331 properties, right? Where you can go and you know, look at some of these. What you're looking for is a seller, direct to the seller. You don't want agents, but agents will post here and they're not supposed to. It's against their fiduciary professional policy or whatever, depending on what agents are not, where they're from, right? Like here in California, it's DRE, Department of Real Estate. Midwest may have a bunch of other ones, right? They're not supposed to post here in for sale by owner, right? But you'll find them. You'll find other properties that are sellers. You got to read between the lines and look for a seller, right? So let's try to find a seller here and go, hey, is this a seller? Does it look like a seller? Large home, claim-o. And you look, not available until around October 2nd, probably because it's rented, right? Plenty of space, owner, seller. There you go. That's what you want. No agent on this side. Boom. Just depends, right? 1 acre, of course, it is what it is. This could be in California, it could be Florida, it could be Vegas, it could be anywhere where you're going to find. You're going to fish where Craigslist has literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of advertisements every freaking week and day and month. So what you're going to want to do is go here and go to reply, show the email, copy that email, right? Then we have what's called some templates, surfing for deals templates, right? You're going to put that into wherever you would want to go ahead and send, you know, from your email. I suggest to use, here's another tip, use a junk email, because you're going to get a lot of shit and you want to be able to track all your stuff in one area. This is for not too bad, 8 days old, right? And also if you come aboard, we have software where it does this automatically, right? And also we'll give you alerts of when something gets posted right at the gate. Boom, you can jump on it right when it comes out. There's other little things that you can do to fill that pipeline. Surfing for deals, just one vertical. This will get you up and running very quickly, get you talking to sellers very quickly. And the next part is obviously, well, what do you do with the lead when a lead comes in, right? Like for example, when a lead does come down the wire, what am I going to do? So let's say we went ahead and did a template, sent them out. They're going to respond back and say, yeah, here you go, because we always ask for the address, right? Because there's no address here. They're going to give us the address. Once they give us the address, we're going to copy and paste a second template, and then we're going to go ahead and do what? Leave it alone. They're going to see it. They're going to know we're investors. A lot of times they'll have the address. A lot of times they'll have their telephone number. If they don't respond, then they're either going to text us or we're going to call them up and we're going to get all the details, right, that are on this lead gen form here, right? So they'll either will fill this out in the comfort of their own home and you got yourself a super hot lead. All right, and then you're going to submit. We're asking them all these pertinent questions. Yes, it's more, because when we ask them all this stuff, like I said, it acts as the script. And there's a way to dance around on this form. There's a way to speak with the seller or talk with the seller to qualify them to see if they're flexible. That'll happen within the first 2 to 3 minutes to know how flexible they are, okay? We're going through this form, and you're going to get all this information on the property. Why are you selling? What's the asking price? Even if you know, right? What's on the first? What's on the second? The taxes? Are you behind on payments? Are there any taxes, liens, bankruptcy, any foreclosure notices? You'll be surprised. Humans are very honest, right? Now, if they're not, you'll know. It usually in the first couple of minutes when you ask them what's on the first, they're like, oh, I don't want to share that with you. I don't feel comfortable. Okay, there's a rebuttal for that, and we role play and we share that with you, right? And we give them 3 chances to hang themselves, right? Meaning that if they don't tell us, goodbye, it's not a fit, and we'll hang up on them. At the end of the day, if they do, once they do tell us, because they're honest and they know everything's going to come out in the wash anyways, right? So we always tell them, hey, look, we're very transparent in what we do. We don't work with dishonest people, right? Everything that we do and we work together. It's going to come out in the wash at the end of the day as well. We're going to go ahead and pull a title if we open escrow, if we work out a deal anyways. Once more, nobody knows their home better than you, Mr. or Mrs. Seller. What's on the first? Stay quiet. Don't say a thing. just like that. And when you do that, magic happens. They're going to come back and they're going to say about 90%, 97, about 90 to 97% are good to go. You're going to get the 1 to 3% knuckleheads that just won't tell you. Those are the ones that are red flag. Okay. The ones that do, they're going to say, you know what, Eric, I got nothing to hide. What do you need to know? Once that happens, they're going to tell you everything from birth until now. You've made a friend. They trust you. And if they don't, there's a way to build that credibility by going and showing them a website, showing them who you do, showing them you edify, right? At the end of the day, when anybody comes aboard working with us, if you have a website, make sure you use that or edify someone that you're working with, your mentor or mentee, or not mentor, or somebody that's been doing the business longer than you. For us, you have AHA, Americans Helping Americans, our stories, your stories, all that stuff. So it gets you in the door super easy and quick. And then once they look at it, they're like, okay, great, let's go. They'll tell us all this stuff. They'll tell us what's on the first. They'll tell us what's on the second. They'll tell us the payment amount. They'll give us the interest rate, right? They're probably going, why do we need all that? Well, it's the art of the deal. It's creative real estate investing. I'll explain to you that beyond the scope of this call, our meeting. They'll tell us this stuff, right? Are you behind on payments? Yes, no. Back taxes? Yes, no. If they are bankruptcy or divorce, they'll tell us. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. If they don't, that's the second call is for, to do the due diligence, pull the title, and then call them on it. But we're not calling them on it as liars, right? We're saying, oh, you were lying to us. No, hey, we get it. People forget, we tell them. We know that. It's a stressful situation selling a house. So especially if you're in foreclosure, divorce or something, or bankruptcy, we definitely get it. But we found this. There's a second on the property. Can you tell us about that? Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Foreclosure, same thing. We've had calls where we speak with people and they tell us, yeah, I'm behind on payments. Okay, no problem. How long? You get a foreclosure notice? Notice the trustee? What's going on here? Especially now with this forbearance thing, that's all opening up. Done deal, man, right? So they're going to have foreclosures. They're coming down the wire. Adapt, gear up. Then we ask the 3 magical questions here, right? Would you sell your house for what you owe on it? Yes, no, we need more information. This stuff is awesome. Do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to get the results, right? I'm just telling you. You're going to have to get the information anyway, so you might as well do it on one call instead of several, or through 5,000 million text messages. Or they're going to fill this out in the comfort of their own home, right? So would you be willing to receive any equity if applicable in the form of monthly payments? Yes, no, need more information. Now, what doesn't matter what they say, even if it's no. 9 times out of 10, I will tell you 80% of, or I should say about 80% of the time, they're willing to do one of these things, right? Monthly payment or some type of equity, meaning sub 2 or seller finance, right? Or some type of option. Would you be willing to sell your house by allowing us to take over your monthly payments? Yes, no, or need more information. And sometimes they'll say yes, or they'll go, I'm not sure how you can do that, right? Because my loan's not assumable. So they'll click need more information. Awesome, no problem. If your property qualifies for that, then we'll get into that and we'll explain that to you, right? That usually comes down the second call where we get to do the appointment. Make any notes here, right? Of course, on whatever form you have, make sure you have notes and make sure you write your notes down and make sure you understand that if you hear a dog barking in the back, write it down, get the dog's name, the cat, what they like, football, karate, it doesn't matter what they do. Dig in, because on the second call, you can address some of these things. That's just a little sales 101, a little psychology at the end of the day, and it works. Then we tap this off. It's not new, but it's newer. But we'll go on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Where are you at? 1, no hurry. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, don't have much time, right? 10, I need to sell now. Anything that's 5 and under, that's awesome, and it's geared towards an agent. If you got an agent relationship and you can work something out, there you go. Use it, right? Or it just means that it means more follow-up until they're ready. If they sell it, awesome, congratulations for them. If not, anything 5 and over or need to sell. That's what I would consider a need to sell, which is what we're looking for. Investment deals means they're flexible. They're willing to do what? They're willing to work some cash, some terms, but you got to ask the questions, the right questions, open-ended questions, right? To find out how to serve them up a solution, because you're going to drop those seeds, right? That's what I'll go back to the call, or go back to the deal with Hal, right? When he sat at the kitchen table, after we got the appointment, now it was about presenting the offer, okay? We got to the kitchen table with Hal. We already had a game plan. We already knew all the details, right? Knew where she wanted to be and how much money kind of sorted she wanted and what she wanted to do along with the 5 heirs, because we asked those questions on our discovery call, and then on our second call, which I did and solidified, right? And that's what you would do with the appointment on the phone call. And then we go to the property. We go to the property after this is done, and you submit it, right? then you're going to have a hot lead, whether it's here or anywhere or your website or whatever you're doing or however you're doing it, depends. I'm just sharing this with you, right? Then what will happen next is the actual going to the property, right? Hitting the property. When you go to the property, what's going to happen is you're going to walk that property correctly. You're going to present those offers on the kitchen table. And the way we do it is the art of the deal. Now, you'll either get this if you're working with us or someone else you're going to work with and get it done. And you've been mentored and stuff like that, or you'll hear little pieces of how it works, right? Some people do it, some people don't. Some people are just spaghetti on the wall. Boom, boom, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. If they take it, awesome. If not, then they move on because they're pushing volume and pushing, it's going through every single lead and writing offers on every single lead. Does that work? Of course it does. It's a vertical that works. But for us, we want to make more money, right? And we want that quality of deal. And if we can get in with the least amount of money, we're super, super happy about doing that, okay? And this is how you do that, is by dropping those seeds, knowing the solutions. Like, for example, we had one in Fresno, California. A young man's going like, I don't know where we're going to make our money. She owes $50,000 in the IRS. She's behind on back payments. She has 2 houses. Her son's living in one house. She's living in another house. I said, okay, no problem. Yeah, there's money in this deal. Okay. So he had that faith and he went. We had our powwow in his car right before he got to the property. Did exactly what needed to be done on the appointment by going in, give me the grand tour, talk, take pictures, get a video, right? and look for all the blemishes, befriend the seller, looking at the pictures, and sit down at the kitchen table and put us on the phone. That's what we did, right? Put us on the phone, and he saw how he thought we were going, I thought we were going to be like a real estate agent. We're going to be like a car salesman and come in here as the superheroes and say, we're here to buy your house because we got all this money in cash and we're the biggest, baddest, and all that other good stuff. And he found out that wasn't it. We just sat down, we started talking, and we started talking about the property, started talking about the numbers, started figuring open-ended questions. What are you going to do if you don't sell it? What are you going to do if you lose that other house? What are you going to do if you lose this house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then we drop seeds, right? Well, what if we're able to negotiate the taxes down? Do you really need all the money right now? How much money do you need right now? Well, she needed enough money to do it, to get her family or her son and his family into a rental property because she was going to sell that property, which is the one we're going to make an offer and buy, to get them out. So they needed $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. She'd like to have the car paid off so she can have that car paid off and not have that bill and give the car to her son because she already had another car and she's willing to make payments on that one. And so if you see where I'm going with this, right, we're negotiating equity, we're providing solutions, we're dropping seeds there. So after we get to that point, she's like, we're not selling her anymore because we already got the foundation lined out. She's selling us. Hey, Eric, and the young man that was with me says, okay, can you do this? What about maybe if you can you pay off my car? And the IRS, are you able to negotiate and get that down or work it or pay it? Or maybe some payments of some sort, and then a few other things that we negotiated. So she was selling us now, right? So long story, or the long end of this is that, one, there's nuggets here that I'm sharing with you. So one, we're able to get her to agree on negotiating the equity at a lower amount, because we could take the $10,000, negotiate the credit cards because she was going to close out that, and then there's some credit cards she wanted to close out. We're going to close those out. We're just going to negotiate them, pennies on the dollar. Our credit was already shit anyway, so it didn't matter, right? So that's bad credit. The houses are in foreclosure, and she had IRS issues. So we're just going to negotiate those credit cards down. So for example, think of it as $30,000 in credit. We're going to pay $3,000, $4,000. Cut you a check. Take the money or not. Otherwise, she's going to file bankruptcy and you're not going to get shit, right? So what do you want to do? Credit cards would do that. So then we automatically took that $30,000 of equity that's just going to be negotiated, and we chop it down to 3. We just made some. We just bought some money or equity and profit to the bottom line. Same thing for the car. Same thing for no problem. We'll write a check. That $2,000, $3,000 not free. It's going to come out of our equity of the properties. So she was now selling us on these ideas. We always give them about 90 to 95% of what they want, never 100%. So I said, no problem. We stepped outside. We talked about it. You want to move forward? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we go back. And then there's some art of the deal that I'm not going to get into right now, but on how to get that contract signed. And that's what you need to do. You go back. But long story short there is that the young man said, oh, man, now I understand. I saw how she was selling us. We weren't selling her. We just came in, we walked the house, we're presentable, we started negotiating, we dropped all the solutions, opened any questions, found out where the equity's at, negotiated the equity down, and then she sold us on everything that we dropped through the back door, which are called seeds, and started serving us up and selling us on those things. And which is awesome, because when they're selling us, now it's their idea. We drop the egos, right? You drop the egos, or if you're doing this, drop the ego and let them sell you. Let them be the hero of their own story, right? Their own salvation, although they will realize that you're the one that came in to make this deal happen, because it's your money or another investor's money, and it's going to, and contracts and all that good stuff. You're going to solidify and provide a solution to them, unlike other people who came to them like family and cousins and, you know, and just, oh, you know, banks saying they're going to give you a loan. They don't. And then your property, you're going to lose your property, go foreclosure or bankruptcy or divorce, whatever, right? Or whatever the stress situation is. They don't got 50 grand to fix the property because the agent said, hey, I can't get you retail unless you fix it. I don't have the money, or I don't want the money, or I don't want to deal with the agent. So what I'm saying is there's reasons why people want to sell. But the main thing here was, well, he was amazed. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I thought we were going in as car salesmen or real estate, and everybody hates real estate agents, right? So it's like, well, no. Now I understand how he had to do the art of the deal, right? So then they're selling us the deal, and then you put the contract down, put the pen down, shut your mouth and wait, and let them sign the damn contract. Once the contract is signed, now you got your offer. Now you got your offer done. Now you got yourself a deal, right? So now that you got a deal, you wrap up a little bit, whatever has to be done. Okay, great, appreciate it. If you have any questions, don't have any questions, solidify everything, get the hell out of there, move on. If you got pictures and video and all that good stuff, now a new phase starts, right? You got a deal. Now you got to get it sold, right? So I'm not going to get too much into that. Make it very simple, because we got about, what time we got? Oh, okay. It's 2:28, 3:28. I promised a couple hours, long ass video. I'll probably chop this up into pieces anyways, or have Swede do that for us and use this content. But any questions, man? I don't think if there's nobody on here, that's cool. I definitely get it. Oh, no. What is that? Oh. Not me. What a trip. That's trippy. Oh, that must be the closed caption thing going crazy. What the hell is that? Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Wow, that's weird. What a trip. Yeah, it must have been the closed caption thing. I guess on Facebook, they got a closed caption thing that pops up when I speak. You know, just go on, and you've probably seen this. All right. Anyways, maybe it's over. Okay, so check this out. So when you get the deal, so let's say, for example, you got this deal. We can go over here. Maybe we'll take a look at Amplify Americans. How Americans pop it up right there now. Let's see. Pop this up. Americans. Come on, try this. There it is. Got a deal. Say, like, for example, let's do this one, right? This might be locked up, need a password. Okay. So some of these deals, right? So let's say when you get the deal, obviously you're going to want to do whatever you want to do with it, right? You're going to take that deal, you're going to throw out your carrots, you're going to hit your, because like I always say, if you got a good deal, real buyers will come to the table. Real buyers come to the table, right? Then you want to qualify them. There's going to be a lot of wholesalers that are going to approach you and say, yes, I am a cash buyer, and they are not. Just a, excuse me, just a heads up, okay? And you're going to have to qualify them. A lot of people don't. Or other people say, oh, just give me the address, give me the address, give me the address. And they're going to daisy chain it and take that, and they're going to go ahead and copy and paste it. You know, as I always say, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., the house is 500,000. By 9 p.m., it's 500. No shit, it's 600. Because there's 10 people want to get paid $10,000 for giving out a freaking address. That's called a referral, man. That's what I used to get paid as a bird dog, a referral fee, right? A referral fee is $250 to maybe $1,200 for giving out an address, maybe a telephone number. If they buy it, cool, they cut you a check. Wholesale, I definitely get it, right? You found the thing, you locked it up, you negotiated, you're on the contract, so you do deserve what? Yeah, you deserve to make whatever you want to make. $5, $10, $15, $20, $35,000 or more for selling the paper because you found the deal, did all the work, did all the negotiating, and you're serving this shit up on a silver platter to an investor who wants it. Rock and roll, right? And that's how it works. But if you don't do your due diligence, right? Like the young man that I was working with previously, right? He was writing up deals. He sent them down the wire. Can you help me? I said, no, these deals are too tight. I mean, you spent too much money on them. they're dead dogs, right? Are they willing to do seller financing? No, the sellers don't want to. Well, get them on the horn for me and let me see if we can do something, right? They don't want to budge. So you can't turn everything into a deal. Just like a real estate agent, right? They take listings, fill the pipeline, listings. Does every listing close? No, they don't. Not saying that every wholesale deal should close, but if you do your due diligence right and you hammer and you buy it right, you make your money when you buy it, then guess what? 9 times out of 10, every wholesale deal will close, right? But you're doing that extra, going the extra mile. A real estate agent listing is different, right? You're just speculating. Hey, I think I can sell this property at this much, and it's up to the seller to decide if they're willing to take whatever offers come in, and the property is going to sell for whatever that market and area is calling for, right? So that's a little bit different. So it's kind of like, but you got a legal contract to get paid. If it sells, you're an agent, you get paid. Doesn't mean that if you list it at 500,000 that it's going to sell. If it's a bad, what do you call it, right? A bad listing or a dog, yeah, it's not going to sell, right? Because the property's worth 300 and you're listing it for 500 and it needs a bunch of work. Shit, that is not going to sell. You're going to get a bunch of shitty offers. That's for damn sure. And the seller's going to get frustrated. But it is what it is. Same thing. You can have 10 listings and maybe 3 or 4 will pop, right? Just depends on how good those listings are. Same thing with wholesale or even real estate deals, right? Now, if you're going to fix and flip, it's different because you're going to buy the property. You already know your numbers. You're digging in. You're getting private money. Hey, do people lose money on fix and flips? Of course they do. They overshot it. This didn't happen. That didn't happen. Or they ran out of money or something. Or they got to end up buying and keeping it and holding it. Or they got to fix it. Or something happens. The contractor F's them over, takes their money and runs off and some shit and, need extra money. Had one buddy had trying to learn this creative real estate investing on his own and stuff, and then went ahead and did that, took the deal sub 2, red flag went off at the bank, and they're saying, bam, due on sale clause was activated. They went ahead and redid the whole garage. Oh, you should see this garage, man. It could be an apartment, this and that. Fixed it all up. They got hammered because the city came down and they made them tear down a $50,000 garage. And he's like, oh my God, man, yeah, I should have listened to the way you told me to do it and record us. Yeah, it's due diligence, brother. You already bought a couple of deals, try to sell them to me. I said, no, these are short sales. They're upside down. They're encumbered, man. There's no deals here. But, hey, you can snap somebody a bunch of times and they don't wake up. It is what it is, right? You're going to learn. You're going to figure it out when you figure it out. But we're trying to avoid all that stuff, right? Want to wake up our fellow Americans, want to be able to help. I don't care where you're from, brand new, as long as you're coachable and you can follow directions, right? You can take action, wake up in the day and, get your results, talk about those results, rinse and repeat. You're going to make it, man. Guys and gals, you'll do a deal. I don't care. And it's not a race. Remember that. It's not a freaking race. Oh, man, I haven't done a deal. It's been a month, 2 months, 5 months. Who cares? The bottom line is you're learning. You're gaining this knowledge. Your first deal meal might be the first couple of days. Not first couple of days, be realistic. Maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month, maybe 60 days, maybe three months. Who knows? Maybe 6 months or longer. Right? We had Stephanie out in Florida. It took her 4 months because she was afraid to talk to sellers. She goes, man, these people are mean. So these buyers are even meaner. I said, well, you have to toughen up, young lady, right? Toughen up if you want to make it in this business, because she was fired up and motivated. She worked 2 jobs, 2 kids, and she still had time. So when people say they're busy, I don't have time, well, then, hey, keep your job, right? There's always time. You make the time, okay? Busy is an overrated word. It's like an MLM word, right? I'm busy. It's what the MLM people do in their multi-level marketing. Oh, yo, let me call you right back. I got 3 people on the phone and I'm busy. I'm really, really busy. I'll call you right back. Make sure you watch that video. Okay, great. You know what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. I like to say rock and roll. Rock and roll is better than busy, right? Are you busy? No, I'm rocking and rolling, right? Because it's true. You're moving forward and you're moving forward and you're moving forward. You're moving things forward. Momentum, and velocity equal deals. But those deals won't pop out the other side without some velocity, right? You got to put some velocity in that. And when you do that, deals are going to come out the other side. And then you got to get to work and get them sold, right? So that's where the other part comes in. When somebody gets a deal, like let's say this particular deal here, right? What'll happen is the buyers will come out of the work. What do you got to qualify them? You got to make sure they're real buyers, make sure they have proof of funds, NC&D, whatever their mode of operation is, right? And then what do we do, right? We got to qualify them. And then we'll open escrow, figure out whether it's an escrow state or not an escrow state, or is it a closing agent, is it an attorney? Because every place is different, right? Every state is a little bit different depending on where that's at. Like Missouri and Florida, Texas is non-disclosed state. California is a disclosed state. That's the only thing I really love about California is shit, everything's there. The whole story on the property, once you pull a title report, is there. Prelim, sometimes it comes up, sometimes it don't, because humans make mistakes, right? So what'll happen here is that you take that deal and you sell the son of a bitch off, post it, yes, do whatever you want. Here's my tip, and you can do whatever you want. It's like a 50-50 thing, right? Others will post the shit and they're okay with dealing with daisy chains and all kinds of shit. I'm not gonna lie, knock on wood, we've done this before in the past. Send out a deal, have the same deal, come back to us, scraped with all our information, their logos all over the shit, trying to sell us their own deal. Funniest thing ever, right? We had to send them a cease and desist and threaten to shut them down, right? Or learn how to do the business correctly, right? You don't have a right to do that. Don't do that shit, right? Don't try to sell somebody else's deal you don't have the right to do. Ask for permission, if at least do a JV or something, right? Even then, it may not happen. Okay. We only partner up with our mentees one-on-one. When we do our one-on-one, we partner up and we do deals together. Yes, we do. We'll do splits and things of that nature. But the bottom line is that when you have a deal, give out the address if you want to, or not give out the address, and make sure that you qualify those people. And as long as they are qualified and you feel they're a buyer, and build that relationship with them, because you only need 4 or 5 real buyers in a general area, depending on where you're buying, right? And then, for every area, you probably want 3 or 5, right? Real buyers that have cash, 100,000, 500,000, a couple of million, bank lines of credit, stuff like that. It could be mom and pops, it could be LLCs, it could be businesses, it could be investment firms. It could be just, someone's just getting started and they got money and they're looking for a fix and flip, right? Or buy and hold, who cares? Doesn't matter. Just as long as you qualify them. I'm going to stress, qualify them. It's going to save you tons and tons of time, right? Or you can just go ahead and say, yeah, I'm a buyer. Here's a good one. Here's the app. So you're a buyer. Okay, great. Okay, you're the one you buying cash or terms? You buying hard money, traditional? Oh, okay, great, cool. Yeah, well, it's me and my partner. Okay, your partner. Are you on the same? Are you guys both on the contract? Are you guys both have an LLC together? Are you like one of the managing officers? No, we're just like partners. I met him on Facebook. I said, oh fuck, all right, you're not fucking friends, you're not partners, you're nothing. It's Facebook shit, right? I definitely get it. You haven't even have you talked to him? No. Okay, well, that's even worse. At least talk with them, with the person, right? Break bread with them, qualify them, see if you guys even like each other, right? Because the worst thing you want to do is somebody who's unscrupulous, going to try to rip you off, try to rip off the person you're working with. You don't need all that. So it all comes down to you and your rep and doing a little bit of extra work. And when you got that solid buyer, cool. Then more people want to do business with you. You're going to close deals and things of that nature. If you have the deal, this is your deal. You should be, your responsibility is for the seller, and then your investor, and then you. Yes, you last. You're last on the totem pole there. And if you're not, and you're first on the totem pole because you want to make money, then you're going to have a hard time in this business. You're going to figure it out. Okay. It's about providing and taking care of your seller, and then your investors, and then you. If you're the one with the money, then it's you, right? At second. Even if you do something wrong, yeah, you go back, try to, see if you can, hey, you know what? I didn't see this water filtration system here for $5,000. The mechanics thing on it. Can you help me out with that? Take it out of their equity. Split it with their equity. If they absolutely say no, are you going to lose the deal over that? No. Eat it. Means you're fucked up. It's okay, right? Live and learn. Nothing, it happens, right? And you move forward, close it, make your money, and move to the next one. Get a testimonial from them, get some video testimonial, all that good stuff, content, because it's only going to help you with your credibility, right? So those are the things you need to do when you have a buyer. When you have a deal. Real buyers come to the table, qualify them, get them to buy your property, and do your A list, right? A list, 1, 2, and 3. Give them up to 3 deals. They don't perform, move them to your B list, which is like the second page of Google, right? Nobody goes to the second page of Google. They don't perform after 3 deals. They don't get any more of your deals, and they got to do something crazy to get back on that A list, right? So once again, you are in control of the seller. You're in control of the buyer. And a lot of people say, oh, well, he who has the money writes the rules. Not bullshit. He who has the deal writes the rules, right? Because you get to decide what you want to do with that deal or not. If it's good, if it's an awesome deal, or if you take it down sub 2 and you control it and you're the trustee and beneficiary and you're making the payments on the property and the seller's already out of it. You know what I mean? Nothing they can do. It's all yours. No one can take that deal away from you, right? What are they gonna do? Yeah, well, I would say nobody. It just is what it is. It's locked up. You're the trustee and beneficiary. It's yours. You do whatever you want. Buy it, hold it, fix, flip it, wholesale it if you want. Somebody will write a check, guarantee it, right? If it's a good deal, and you can get them in there where say, hey, hard money is going to cost me this much and 10% interest and points, and then I got to make a payment every month. Okay, yeah, you got to make a payment here, but you can still cash flow it with this payment, and the interest rate's better. It's 3, 4, 5%, or even less, right? All you got to do is put some money in for repairs. If you don't got the money, go to a real estate investor and have them put the money in there and have them write a check, and you give them a good return investment. So that's the thing when you get deals, right? Real buyers come to the table, build your buyers list, build your pipeline, and the same token, go after your private money. Do about 2 or 3, and then you'll have some credibility where you can start going after private dollars, and then you can start fixing and flipping or buying and holding, you know, or do your Airbnb, assisted living, sober living, whatever the hell you want to do, or even move into a certain amount and then start moving into multifamily or commercial if that's what you want to do. So we are versed in commercial as well. So people say, oh, man, I don't want to do single family. That's okay. You got to start somewhere, right? Just get your, you know, what do they call that? You know, just got to get in the game a little bit, right? Cut your teeth. That's the one I was saying, right? No, another saying. All right, I'm gonna drink some water right here. Yeah, but it's you're gonna cut your teeth on 1 or 2, right? And then you can start doing friendship private money deals because now they trust you. Then your goal is to do what? Get the deal, fix the property, cut them a check, and their job is to cut a check, right? And get a check back. If you can do that, you can roll their money and turn their money 2 or 3 times, right? And we'll get into that if you jump into the one-on-one mentoring program, Amp Live. We get into all that, how to build your private bank, how to all that stuff works, and contracts and all that good stuff are stuff that we share with you, right? Now, obviously, here's our disclosure: we're not attorneys, right? We're not CPAs, right? We're not promising the world and all this good stuff. That's the thing about me. I'm straight up and forward. That hey, you know, hey. You may suck at it. You may not want to do it. You may enjoy your damn job more than this, or you may not just want to get up and do what needs to be done. Okay. Oh, okay. But it is part of what it is, right? So you need to show up to the party. 90% of it's showing up to the party. And here's the part where I'm going to go ahead and share some things with you in regards to, now let's go over it real quick. Deals. Where do I get deals? Well, you get deals from Craigslist, Zillow, online, any online platform that you want. Okay. Yes, you can work with agents and all that good stuff. I don't condone it, but it's up to you. I don't really get along with agents. I do. I get along with the ones that are awesome, right? And they love, you know, they love to learn and they want to pay attention and they know that they work for you and work with you and all that good stuff. But guess what? You know, a lot of them are a pain in the butt, right? But if you're good at that and you get along with them, I say go for it because they can bring you deals. I'm not gonna lie. We had a young man in Northern Cal, not a young man, an older man in California working, say, get a deal, get a deal. He worked with an agent. This agent was young, about maybe 1 year into the business. Yeah, he brought a nice juicy deal to the table, right? But we just needed facts. We needed facts quicker and faster. We didn't get them as quick as we needed and as fast as we needed because we could have rolled it up and yes, there was a deal on the table, right? Then all of a sudden they decided to go ahead and list the sumbitch, and then wait a couple of weeks to go. Oh, we're gonna stack the offers for the next 2 weeks to see if we can get maximum dollar. I said, well, okay, well, we're done here. Fuck, we wanted that deal before you listed it. It's called a pocket listing. Are there pocket listings out there in your area? Yes, they are. Go for it. Work with agents, qualify them, train them. And if they bring you deals that are juicy, not just for them, because a lot of times they'll bring you deals that have enough for a commission, but not enough for you. There has to be enough for them, enough for you, and for the investor if you're going to flip it, if you're going to fix it and flip it, or if you're going to wholesale it, right? There's got to be enough money for everybody. And they got to know what those numbers are. And if they bring that stuff to the table, yeah, you want to get your agents paid, right? Want to pay everybody. Want to pay a wholesaler, want to pay a bird dog. Make sure you take care of them. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. Okay. So buyers come down the wire. So that's where you're going to find your deals. So like, for example, this particular deal was found using data, right? The other deals were, let me see, I think I got a Concord deal in here, right? That was found through Driving for Dollars, and then follow up, and then surfing for deals. 90 times. Once you first get into this, you're going to find tons of deals like, not that one, but deals like this, whether it's in Kansas or whether it's in California. It doesn't matter what area you are, what city, what state. Don't try to do virtual investing in the beginning unless you're already good and you got the art of the deal down, you can talk to sellers and you know the due diligence and all that good stuff, and you got boots on the ground, and I say, go for it. See this grass right here? This grass is just as green right where you're standing, right? On this side of the fence, right where you're at. You may look and go, man, look at all that grass, right? And you know this one, here's another one, right? It's another old saying. The grass is just as green right where you're standing. Learn, become the expert in your area, become the expert within your perimeter or parameter, just like this here. If you look at this, right? We go back, they got the circle, make this your bitch. This is your area. You know houses from this side to this side, in and out, within $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 difference. You understand you got to get as good as an appraiser, right? Because if you can do that, you're going to be valuable to investors. And then if you want to venture out and go, I want to go do some virtual, wholesaling or whatever, I want to veer out into all this area over here, then go for it. But you need to become the expert here first, because if you're not the expert here, how are you going to become the expert out there? There's too many variables, a lot of variables. Does it work? Yes, you can do it. But if you don't have systems set up or boots on the ground and all that good stuff, you're going to have a hard time. Will you get it done? Not saying he can't, right? It's like the young man I told you about, right? He was using a notepad, and he was using Facebook Marketplace, and he was doing deals in Florida, and he lived in the Midwest. Can it be done? Of course it is. Of course you can, but you have to hyper focus, right? He just didn't want to hyper focus in his area. He decided to hyper focus in Florida, and it worked. Anything that you hyper focus on will work. Any marketing vertical works if you do it. But this comes down to being coachable, like I said, right? Coachable, following directions, take action, get results, talk about those results, rinse and repeat. So there's going to be a link in this video somewhere, or there's going to be a link down below. It's just something simple. It tells us where you're at. If you like what was going on here, if you decide, you know what, hey, I want to jump aboard. I want to see what this is about. I want to see if I qualify, or see if we qualify, see if we're a fit, if we even like each other, to, jump into the 6-month one-on-one mentoring program or one of our group coaching programs, right? I don't even like using the word program, because one-on-one is just that. It's true mentorism. We're gonna be sharing some stuff with you, right? That you may have in your arsenal. And sometimes we got to reframe it. Sometimes we got to shut it down and say, eliminate that crap you learned, and you're going to go with this instead, because this is getting results. The other stuff didn't, right? There's obviously something that's keeping you back, whether it's mental, physical, monetary, doesn't matter, right? We feel we're a good fit. As long as you can punch your way out of a paper bag, we're super flexible, and we love working with people throughout the United States. We're here to help you get to where you want to get to, right? I know what it's like. When I got started, it was a lonely business. There was nobody there to help me, right? There's nobody to do anything for me. And I had to bring tremendous value first by building out my business and building out a system, because I didn't want to knock on doors, but knocking on doors works, I'm telling you, right? Driving for dollars works. Direct mail works. Text marketing works. Ringless voice message works. Data works. It all works. I will say 80% of it is you. Technology is about 20%. So, if you just had technology, no, you wouldn't make it into business. Technology is not going to do your deals for you. Technology is not going to negotiate the deals for you. Technology is not going to be you. You are the magic, right? You are the 100% of the magic, but 80% of that is you. And then if you want to scale up and have a business, an actual business, then you bring in 20% technology to help you, right? So you can start scaling. Little by little, you start scaling, depending on how big or how small you want your business, right? And it's all doable. And that's what we do. We look at it, see where you want to go. We want to know about your goals and your passions, what you're about, right? For example, we have a young man out in Northern California. He used to be an ex-rapper or a rapper. He does that, right? He did it for a long time. And me, when I was growing up, I played rock and roll, right? So that's why I use rock and roll. It's in my core. Music's in my core. I love it. Other people, wanted to be firemen and, nurses and astronauts, or, wanted to be DJs. Who knows, right? Everybody has because when you grow up, whatever you're doing now, if you're doing real estate, awesome. But your previous jobs, you didn't grow up when you're a kid. You go, hey, I want to be a cop, or maybe a cop, yeah, right? But you whatever your job is. Hey, I wanted to work for McDonald's, or I wanted to get into retail, or I wanted to be an electrician. I want to be a plumber. You take jobs because you go for it for money, to survive, to eat, to pay your bills, and to grow, right? But real estate kind of feeds that vibe of like, what? Get you thinking back in the, when you're younger, Think and Grow Rich was an awesome book that a mentor made me pay for. $5 back in the day, right? It was brand new, and I had to pay for that book just to be on his team, right? I was young. It was different, right? This is multi-level marketing shit, right? Because I had long hair, and I didn't want to chop it off, and nobody would hire me. So I said, I'll do multi-level marketing and sell water filtrations, right? So that's what I did. But to be on this guy's team, because he was kicking ass, he goes, it's a book right here. You need to read it. It's required reading, right? Think and Grow Rich. And if you don't, then you're not on my team. So go out and sell some filters. So I went to grab the book. He grabbed the book, throw it in the drawer, and locked it up. He goes, nope, I need $5. I don't have $5, man. I need, well, go make some sales. When you make some sales and you got $5, you come back, you get the book. So I did. I made some sales, went out, got my book, and I started studying. Took me a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm a little slow learner, but I stayed and went into the corporate gig, did all that corporate, you know, moving forward, business, whatever. And reading the book and studying, reading the book, studying until something popped. And actually, the book actually said what it said. It says when everything and the letters and everything that you've been studying in the book reaches out and you understand it, go crack open that champagne, right? Because there's a moment there, right? There's a moment of opening your eyes, right? There's a moment of greatness there. And it took a while for that to happen, right? Because life does its thing, right? You're focused on working, all kinds of hours, your family, you're doing this, or something happens here or there, or a car crash, who knows, right? All kinds of shit can happen. And while you're doing that, while you're getting beat up by life, you're still trying to stay positive until you come and start thinking at a higher and resonating at a higher level and frequency than others, right? And that's what happened. All of a sudden, that started happening. I go, man, okay, wow, I think I'm ready for this now. Ready for real estate. I made the commitment. That was the other thing. You need to make a commitment. If you don't make the commitment, you're never going to do it. You're going to do it always half-ass. Now, there's the thing called getting into the market, but usually getting into the market, if you have experience, that's okay. You know, I don't like to do a lot of things half-ass, but a lot of times, you know, with the social media, you don't got time to wait, 1 year in research and development to do this and do that. No, fuck. Get it out there, test it, move it. If it works, rock and roll, you're onto some. Same thing I did with my real estate business, right? I studied. I go, let me try these contracts. I like these contracts. I went to an attorney. He said, yes, I can use them. I'm not going to get sued. Awesome. Here's your $150. Thank you. Take my contracts and move forward and go, boom, there you go. And it worked. And it kept working. Okay, well, what do I do next time? Well, this calls for an option. Shit. Start studying, looking for an option contract. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. I don't like that one. I like this one. This one's simple. Where did I get it from? Well, I got it from Hal, and Hal's houses, man. He's the one who spent like fucking $500 on a contract with an attorney. I go, well, shit, he spent the money. Cool. And he gave it to me. Now I'm going to use it for the deals I don't want to lock up and go through escrow. Here's a simple option. Be transparent with the seller. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run it through my network, but I need a piece of paper here because I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not representing. I don't want to represent you. And I don't want to list your property. I want to buy it, but I want to do an option for $10. Okay. So if I decide to buy this within the next 30, 60, 90 days or 6 months, I'm going to execute. In the meantime, if you sell it, just tell me and we'll cancel the contract. But if you don't, and I bring a seller, not even that, I'll, just let them know. So look, I'll run through my network, maybe an investor of mine, maybe me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if we go ahead and I tell you and I call you, say we're going to execute the option, be prepared because we're selling or we're going to execute and close. Right? It's a lot easier. Then I get my marketing out there. I get the signage and all that good stuff, and I get to do it all on an option. And that's how I populated my website the first cycle. And you can do the same thing. Take that tip. You got a brand new site. You want to populate it? Go do a bunch of options. Throw it on your site, populate, and at least that gives you credibility as well with the seller, with buyers, investors, and things of that nature, right? You can do that. And there are times when I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to open escrow and do all this good stuff because I don't know if this is tight. I don't know if I can help you. Yeah, it's really tight, Miss Seller. We did that for one lady where she went in there, tried to fix up the property, tore up the floors and the cabinets, ran out of money, crying when I went down. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh my God, nobody wants to buy this. I said, yeah, you done tore it all up. Look, and then you want too much. You got to give me some room here. You got to share some of the love. I can probably help you. And we negotiated and we worked out a number. And she goes, yes, give me this amount of money. I said, okay, anything over that amount, I'm going to get you. I get to keep, right? So I'll get you this amount. I'm going to work very hard to get you that. But I need an option. And then I'm going to go ahead and work this. And maybe one of my investors might want it. Maybe I'll partner up with them. Maybe I won't. But the bottom line is I need this because I'm not an agent. I need some equitable title. This is what I'm going to do. So wrote the option, did an addendum, an amendment, and then wrote it all up and sold it to another investor. She got her money. She got the takeoff. They went in there and they were newbie investors too. So, you know, that was from a friend of a friend who said, I know some newbie investors who are interested and want their first deal. This one looks pretty good. It's easy. It's not too bad. Boom. Sold it to them. I got my money. She got her money. They got a deal. And then I think it was about 6 years later, that same lady called because she wanted to take off up north. She goes, I just wanted to call you. I didn't think your number was going to work. I didn't even think you're still in business, but it worked. And I decided to call you. I said, Eric, I want to say thank you. Appreciate it. I got to see my dad before he passed away. Me and my son went to Vegas. I became a nurse. I got my own house. I own my own house. And I want to say thank you. I said, man, wow, that's so freaking awesome, man. Right? So, you know, those are the reasons why you kind of do things and why I even do things today, is to hear those stories, not from us, not just by us or from us, but from mentees and other people and just people in general, right? As long as it's reciprocal, right? And we have integrity and loyalty in place, communication can break down. That could be repaired. The other first two can't, but you'll be surprised. Money does some weird shit to people and they get greedy. And no, we don't chase people for deals and we don't do all that. It's not work. It's not the best use of our time. Best use of our time is to help our fellow Americans, wake up Americans. At the end of the day, if you're stuck, we'll help you, work with you. As long as you're being coachable and you follow directions, take action, rinse and repeat, move forward, we'll help you. Whether you're seasoned, it don't matter. Whether you're seasoned or not seasoned, we work with agents, we work with brokers, we work with seasoned real estate investors, work with newbies. It doesn't matter. Sometimes the newbies, you know, they're just really too new. And sometimes that doesn't work. So, you know, that's why we designed some group coaching and, you know, some 30-day challenges to help out with that. And sometimes that'll help you get along a little bit further before you can move into something that you know, like a one-on-one mentoring, because you may not have enough that's needed just to get started in the business. You need some more homework, right? You need some more schooling. And then there's others that are ready to roll. They're ready to rock and roll. They've already been beat up. They've already spent thousands of dollars and going, shit, I'm still trying to learn this. Or I did 3 deals and they didn't pop right, or they didn't pop, or they did pop, but it cost me money. And or I did 3 deals and now I can't find shit, or nothing's working for me, right? We had one guy said he's doing, found 3, did them. And then he figured out he was in a rental market. And he goes, oh, I need to learn creative real estate investing. No, you don't. Yes, you do, but you don't stop what you were doing because it was working. That makes no sense. You continue doing what you're working because more will come. He just gave up. It's like knocking on the door and it doesn't open, right? Or you knock on another door, it opens and you go in, but then there's another door. You go, shit, man, I'm stuck. I guess I better figure out, maybe I'll go to that door over there. And because I think that's where I need to go to get more deals. No, you go back to that, you go to the same door and you knock, you keep on, you knock the fucker down, right? You do the same thing because the door's going to open. You already opened the door once. You go in and out, in and out, in and out. And you're going to learn more from it. You know what I'm saying? There are people that do CRMs too. Oh, I got a CRM. Then they go into one, then they shut down one, go to another one. No, leave it. If it's working and you're making money and you got leads coming in, leave that alone. Take all the data, build another one, go to a bigger one with all the bells and whistles and continue. Anything that works, you keep until it does not work. And if it doesn't work, then you start modifying and you figure out, okay, well, what happened? What's going on? You adjust to the market, just like adapting, right? You got to adapt, adjust, or you perish. Without further ado, I'm going to say, hey, I think we're almost done here, right? Now, oh, shit. Yeah, we're at 4 o'clock. This is probably the longest video I've ever done. At the end of the day, there's a lot of information in here. If you're willing to watch it, willing to move forward on it, and take those nuggets of information, you will get traction in the field. You will be successful. There are going to be things that, hey, yeah, you got to learn. It just is what it is. If you decide you want to come aboard and work with us one-on-one, and you made it this far into the video, right? We're going to offer that to you, okay? You just got to fill out that link. It's a simple survey link, tells us a little bit about you. We'll set up an appointment. Myself, I'm going to actually get on all those calls, right? Because I like to vet everybody. We do have a team of people that work with us, right? Other mentees that have become trainers and they understand the first 30 days, 60 days, they're doing deals, things of that nature. Yes, we have salespeople and all that good stuff. I don't even like to call them salespeople, right? But the bottom line is that you're going to talk to me. Want to see and hear about you. If we can help you out, then we're going to move forward and get you onboarded. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to get you onboarded. There'll be documents and disclosures that will go over with you. Be a mentee agreement that you'll sign to hold you accountable and hold us accountable for what you're going to learn, what we're going to learn. And yes, there'll be bird dog option fees, there'll be wholesale fees, there'll be JV fix and flip fees, and we're going to partner up on stuff like that. And I'll show you how that all works. If you decide to come aboard, if we are a good fit on both ends, and that means us as well, right? And then we'll continue to move forward. 6 months one-on-one mentoring. There's nothing on it like it on the planet. I can justify that. I can feel good about saying that because I know it's out there, right? It's not one call a week. And even if it's one call on Facebook groups and stuff like that, or some email, it's speed to lead. You need to move quick on your business, and you need to hear this live, right? When you're getting in there negotiating deals, right? And moving forward and having a true, think franchise, think licensing of that nature, right? Franchises work because there's a process, and they don't just let anybody buy a franchise, right? You have to be at a certain level before you can get in. And just because you have the money doesn't need to get in. You may have the money, but then you're gonna have to hire someone else to be your CEO, CFO to do what? To run the somebody. Then they got to go to the training. And yes, the person who writes the check probably has to do the training, or unless they're just writing a check as a private investor, right? Or partner. So think of it that way. You'll have a better chance of being successful and doing deals and rocking and rolling. And then we'll open it up in 2022. We're going to have some licensing. We're going to open that up because we're going to be opening up offices next year. And if you happen to be one of those candidates or someone in the charter program, and you're in Florida, you're in Vegas, you're in Missouri and Montana, shit, don't care anywhere, as long as you're in the United States somewhere, right? I believe, then we'll be able to offer that up to you. And we'll do offices together. We'll do business together. It'll be your brand. It'll just be powered by probably AHA, American South Americans, or Amp Live. But that's just something for the future. And if you actually fill that out, that information down below, we'll actually put you on the list if you're interested in something like that. And we'll talk about that. But the main thing right now is to click that link. Let's chat. Let's talk. If you're interested, and vice versa, and becoming a mentee and getting onboarded. We do have our own graphics team as well. So you're going to get marketing. It's all going to be rebranded. You're going to get the lead gen page. It'll be plug and play. So you don't have to spend a bunch of money. Don't spend thousands of dollars on marketing just yet. All right. Unless you're ready for it. If you feel you're ready for it, we'll have that conversation and we'll put a plan together that's going to make sense. Because I'm all about return on investment, right? I hate people who spend money and then don't get the return on investment. Maybe it's just, just me. Maybe I'm just a cheapo or whatever. But bottom line is, it's just because of real estate. You look at every piece and you go, where can we eliminate risk, eliminate risk, eliminate risk? So we've thought about all that stuff already, right? Or it's plug and pay, the plug and play. But yes, it is pay to play at the end of the day, because nothing's free. There's nothing free in life at the end of the day. It's like if I gave you a book and I charge you $100 for Think and Grow Rich, you're going to read it from front to back, right? And you're going to read it again and again. You're not going to go, if I gave it to you for free, or you go get the PDF somewhere online for free, then you do what? You'll look at it, scan through it, and then put it on the shelf, or leave it on your computer shelf, right? Somewhere on your computer, and you won't value it because it didn't cost you a penny. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We're in a monetary world. It just is what it is, right? So without further ado, I want to say rock and roll in all that you do. In God we trust. Hopefully you grab some value from this. If you saw this video somewhere or make notes or whatever, reach out through PM. You can call the National 800 number. There's probably a text number you can reach out to. We're very easy to get a hold of. I don't answer my phone. Everything's vetted out and things of that nature. So I would suggest click the link. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's set up an appointment and let's talk. Let's get you up and running and in the business and see what we can do. Let's take a look at some stuff here real quick. All right, awesome. So I guess without further ado, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's been a long one. If you hung tight with us, amen. God bless you. If you catch this video or catch this somewhere else, awesome. We appreciate you spending the time with us. We can do this again. Next time, what I want to do is I want to bring on probably Victor and a couple other mentees, and I want to bring on some case studies in regards to like stuff we've done, right? Or just the crazy stories. They're just so cool. They're funny. Some are good, some are bad, and some are like, hey, whatever, right? I don't need to share some of those, right? But because just the way it is, the way the world is today, I will say, keep your moral compass, okay? Be consistent in what you do. Integrity and loyalty. Communication can break down. But do what you need to do. Take care of your seller, take care of your investors, and then take care of you last, right? If you do that, you can be in business for a long, long time. And I guarantee you, if you get into real estate and you just probably need the right mentor or the right people to work with, and you'll fall in love with it, you'll get obsessed with it, and maybe you won't. And if you don't, that's okay too. But it will be a vehicle to get you on the trajectory to help your other passions, right? Or help your family. And that's really the goal of Americans Helping Americans. I'll be honest with you with that. And that's to help other fellow Americans in the United States of America, okay? To help them see that there's another way, right? To have that freedom with their family, right? To be able to go on trips that they want to go on, or just to be able to get out and go do things, or to go out and help others, right? Because they got a serving heart, right? And real estate will help you do that. If you learn the art of the deal, you learn creative real estate investing. It is the key. I promote it and I endorse it. It will help you. It will change your life, and just depends on what you're willing to sacrifice, like anything else, right? They say you don't have to sacrifice, but there is always going to be sacrifice. There's always something. There's always a cause and effect, right? There'll be ups and downs. It's just the way it is. It's life, right? But the goal is to move forward and keep what's in your heart, keep what's in your soul, keep what's in your spirit, alive. PMA, positive mental attitude, is what I endorse with my kids and my family, with some action, right? At the end of the day, too. We're all human beings. We're all going to do what we're going to do, right? But stay consistent. And like I said, without further ado, I appreciate your time. Rock and roll in all that you do. In God we trust. And I believe that's it. We're good to go. Want to go over the website real quick? This is Amp Live. You can go to amplive.net. Or if it's in the event page, it's going to be a link there. You can go there. Should be right here. Click the link. Very simple. Tell us a little bit about yourself. The newbie, past real estate experience, seasoned investor, or a real estate agent, right? Got to tell us if it has a red asterisk. You gotta let us know, okay? But that's it. It's very simple. Or you can go to Amp Live. Take a look at amplive.net. You can go to our YouTube channel as well. Take a look at some testimonials and things of that nature over in our YouTube channel. So we got Tyrell, Martin, good old Brett, Here's Mr. Vic. What? Sorry about that. That was the boss. All right, so there's some of the mentees that Victor's already done deal. Okay, so we closed that bad boy, and he's moved on to becoming a trainer and things of that nature, right? So if that's what you want to do, that's awesome too. We love to speak with you. You can go there. It's a YouTube channel. It's Amp Live, right? It's Amp VIP, I believe, channel. Go to here we go. You can go there. Where's it at? Somewhere there. Click the link in the event, and which is here. So it's the Amp Live, right? Americans Having Americans. Go here. Click the event. You can go to our page. Join the group too, right? There's a group called Amp Live. You get free content and stuff like that. Say hi. Let's get to know each other. Spread the good word as always, right? And you know, do your part for America. Americans Helping Americans, AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. We're doing our part to get America back on track, and hopefully you do the same. Go out there and help your fellow Americans. Don't be afraid. I know you're not, but some people are, and just go for it, right? It's all about coming together and doing our part. Put it out there for the universe. Stay positive, stay focused. Help your fellow Americans. Like I said, Amp Live, the American Mentee Program, is designed like no other program on earth, and we want to share that with you. If you're a good fit, if you can put your way out of a paper bag, we'd love to speak with you. Rock and roll in all that you do. In God we trust, and you have an awesome, awesome day. Thank you.